this down.
A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Come on, Ralphie, baby. Come on, Daddy. Loosen up.
Not tonight.
Not
tonight.
On A2D Radio. Remix.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Welcome in, everybody. A little A2D special here. A little Eagles live reaction post game. We'll do it both here. A little double dip piece. A little double dip. Make an adjustment. Nope. We got a lot to talk about tonight when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, and we're gonna have a ton of fun doing it. And a flag on the play. We're gonna have a ton of fun. But listen, it's been painful. Okay, it's been painful. But before we get to that, every show we're brought to by our doc. Make him yours. That's Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Ralph Delvecchio, Cromer, Steppy, Jake Friel. We got everybody in the house. Little Christmas shopping talk, 25% off, PhillyDrinkers.com, A2D Radio. So just go find the link, go jump in, 25% off. We're here for the people. And you want little hats? You want hats too? AllCampusOC.com for all your team hats. Use discount code A2D, 15% off. Giddy up. Let's go. We're going to talk about a lot tonight about an atrocious offense and something that I haven't seen this bad. I haven't seen an offense this bad in a long time. Okay, I haven't seen an offense when you throw a bubble screen, nobody can break a tackle. Right? I've never seen an offense so bad when I throw an out pattern, a guy turns around and can't make a guy miss and get upfield. So it's like a list of things. I've never seen an offense where an offensive line gets blown up like they do. I haven't seen a quarterback miss so many people that I've seen. You know what I mean? Like you're in the National Football League, you're throwing for like 125 yards. You know what I mean? Like I can't defend that. But he did get his legs going, etc. But you have 9 points in 2020 NFL. That's atrocious offense. Atrocious. And I don't care what anybody says anymore. Right? I don't care. Make a play. That's a good job. So we're gonna be reading off your comments. We're gonna be yelling.
First round pick.
Yeah, first round pick. Can't make a play on the ball. But let's crown him. So I'm gonna be coming out a lot of people too. I'm gonna be coming on a lot of people that people think certain guys are good. And certain guys this and that. And we gotta wait on guys. Well, why are we the only organization in the National Football League that has to wait on everybody? Well, you know what I mean? I can't get an impact guy off Jump Street. You know what I mean? Why? I don't understand. Okay? I don't understand why nobody on the outside gets separation. When around the whole league, guys get separation. I just can't take it anymore. I mean, this is a football team that's digressed so much, it's hard to even fathom. You know what I mean? It really, truly is. It's hard to dissect what the exact issue is, right? It's hard to say, well, it's just this. So when it's hard to say it's just this, where does that start? That starts with your general manager. And after we lose this game tonight, he should be fired immediately on the freaking spot because it's your roster. You're the leader of the pack here when it comes to what happens here. And then guess what happens after that? Then somebody else can come in and if they want to change the head coach, so be it. They want to change other stuff, so be it. But I'm done with him. All right? The tenure's been too long. The miss on picks has been
Wow.
I don't even know why this team's is being talked about tonight, bro. I don't know why we're even talking
there
Eagles
it
football.
is.
I don't even know why.
What? Why did you're down 11 points? Why don't you just kick the field goal and try to
kick it? I don't know why.
I know Jake missed it, but
Why?
you got to play the possessions there. You need points.
Who was that throw to? Who was that throw to?
Yeah, it looked like it was for Dallas, but I think he expected Dallas to turn one way and he turned in. I think he was expecting him to turn to the outside. That's what it looked like.
Well, I mean, that's
kick the field goal though. Make it a one-score game.
I don't disagree with you, but that's them obviously on two separate pages. Those two.
Listen, I'm tired of Steph. You know what I'm tired of, Cromer? and this isn't you saying nothing wrong. I'm tired of separate pages, right? I'm tired of it.
Oh, me too.
I'm tired of incompetence. I'm tired of bad play all around, right? I am tired for bad play all around. And guess what? It is time, I think. It is time to put him down. And I'm saying it. I am on the record saying it. All right? I don't care if it offends people. I don't care about anything. You need to make a change. All right? This is a disgrace. You don't do anything. You're scoring 9 points in the National Football League. Your offense has been atrocious. It's been a train wreck to watch. It's been like watching paint dry. Seriously, that's a bad offense. A bad offense. And it starts with your players, and it goes to your play calling, goes to your quarterback. Everybody stinks offensively. Everybody. Carson Wentz is not good enough right now. All right? It's time to admit it. I hate to say it. I can't believe 11 games in that I'm saying that I don't know if I believe anymore. I don't know if I can rally behind him anymore. I don't know if I can have a hard stance that he deserves to start. I think it's time to pull the plug and see how he plays for the last 8 minutes when he gets a drive. Honestly.
Might as well.
See what you have.
You gave up the game anyway.
Yeah, I mean, this is the point now where there's nothing going on. They have no momentum whatsoever. When they do have momentum, that's the kind of shit that you get. It's at the point now, boys, where let's just see what we have. And, we were talking privately in our chat, right? To me, you're looking for a spark. Tom, you asked for a spark. Well, whether that spark happens tonight or that's a spark that lights a fire under somebody's ass, and maybe not even Carson. But I think you need to send a message because Carson's the one guy that should have a safe job. But if his job's not safe, all of them need to recognize that nobody's safe. You all have to come out and perform every night.
I'll put this on the record right now, too, for anybody who wants to hear it. I'm a big Doug Peterson supporter, right? I would not be upset if he's fired tonight. Okay? Like, I'm in the mood to start cleaning house. I'm in the mood to say enough's enough. You shouldn't regress this much as an organization since the Super Bowl. You should never regress this much. And I understand it's hard to overcome. Well, guess what? Your roster is all put together because of your crap general manager. All right? But you still got to coach him up. All right? At the end of the day, I'm tired of it. I'm freaking tired of all of it. I would clean house tonight. And you can tell me that's an overreaction. You can tell me whatever you want to tell me. All right? I can't be scared to clean house. I can't be scared that there's not another guy out there that can do a better job. I can't be scared that I would open up a goddamn briefcase for Louis Riddick as my general manager. How many briefcases do you want, Louis? Well, wide open, right, Crow?
Two guys on the other side had one-on-one matchups that were
not going through his progressions.
If you lob that ball up, give him a shot at making a play on the ball.
Well, we just gave our first-round pick a lob shot to make a play, and he didn't make it either. So
nobody helps him. Nobody helps him out because everybody else stinks, right? Like everybody else stinks, so nobody's going to help him out. That's just the way it's going to go, all right? But again, I'm cleaning house. And if that's roster clean house, fine. But I'm tired of watching football like this. And I'm not going to defend the head coach. I'm not going to defend the general manager. I'm not going to defend the quarterback, a wide receiver, a running back, anybody on this goddamn football team. All right? And I don't care the defense played good. I don't give a rat's ass. Well, I'm not even talking about the defense tonight. So don't even bring the defense up. It's over. It's over in the fact that people need to be fired. People need to be held accountable for this slop. For this slop, I'm going to do better. We're going to do better. We're going to do better. We got to do better. I'm tired of hearing it. What are you going to say after this game? You got to play better? You got to play better? You got to coach better? This is disgusting.
Keep flexing, Jalen. Keep flexing, Jalen.
The entertaining part, and it's sad that I feel this way, but the most entertaining part of this game, and I actually have enjoyed it, is Louis Riddick, without saying his name, absolutely shredding Howie all night. Yeah. And I hope that Jeffrey Lurie somehow, I'm sure that this is going to be talked about, and I'm sure it's going to get back to him how the commentary team absolutely destroyed the job that Howie did. And I really hope that Jeffrey Lurie takes the time to go back and listen to it. A, so that he can see now it has been naturally exposed. And B, I love Louis Riddick so much. God damn, I would hire him today. Here's a check. Blank check.
Don't leave town.
Tell me what it
Don't leave town.
Don't leave town without it. I'll go right up to the booth after the game and briefcase it. You know what I mean? Here's a little starter pack.
Don't leave town.
But yeah, don't go nowhere, Louis. Because I can't. You guys know me, all right? I defended Carson. I defended Doug. But I promise, again, no agenda here, all right? And when I see this over and over and over again, that's when the no agenda comes in. And everybody that's a part of this organization should be fired tonight. It's a primetime game, and you lay an egg like this offensively. You had 4 yards going into your last drive before half. Disgusting. Disgusting. That's a fireable offense on so many levels. On so many goddamn levels.
Oh, here we go.
That's not a flag. That's a disgrace call. That's a disgrace call. Disgrace. Vontae Maddox stinks too. Everybody stinks. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Anybody out there that wants to defend any player tonight, pack your bags. Pack your bags.
I'll defend one guy. Derek Barnett came out to play tonight.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know. It doesn't even matter what defense did tonight because that's not pass interference, by the way. That's not pass interference.
No, it's not.
I
agree with you, by the way.
Where's
I
the
agree
pass
with you.
interference?
I agree with you on the defense, by the way, in terms of they have made this team is that's what's so frustrating. Like I told you on the past shows this week, I expected a roll job. The fact that it's such a winnable game and you can't make any plays to put your team in a position, from the quarterback to the wide receivers who aren't making plays on the ball. Across the board, this is more brutal than watching a blowout.
This offense makes a 5-yard pass look difficult. They make a 5-yard simple pass to a wide open running back, Miles Sanders, by the way.
Can we even complete a 5-yard pass? I mean, come on, man.
Josh Ennis in the house. What up, brother? He said,
what up, Josh?
He said, you're angry for no reason. Did you expect them to win? They suck and have sucked all year. Guess what, Josh? I'm not angry because of tonight. I'm angry because of what we've witnessed for 11 weeks. So at some point, that comes out of me, right? At some point, that's built up anger that just sits and sits and sits and sits and sits, and I've had enough. So now I'm at the point where I had enough, and I'm going to expose all parts of this organization. I'm going to expose people out there, A2D or not, that crowned some of these picks. I'm going to expose people that said they were better than players were. Tonight is an exposure here on A2D Radio, all right? And for me believing Carson's a guy, I'll get exposed. I can expose my ass too. I should get exposed too because he stinks, all right? That's on the record too. Until proven otherwise, he's not good enough. All right? What up, Donovan? Carson went 15 TDs, 15 picks. That's an average quarterback. And if you watched him, he's played a lot worse than that.
No, listen,
go back to last year. Jameis Winston put up a historic 30-30 year, but he played better than Carson.
Yeah.
Because at least he was throwing for 400 yards. He was losing games and giving away picks, but at least he was pushing the ball down the field.
Yeah.
At least he had a friggin' upside. He had an upside.
Hold on. I got to talk to Mark. Nobody's bouncing comments. All right. You've been upset. All right. And I've known you a long time. All right. I love you to death. All right. But you've been upset and you've been taking it out on the wrong people. All right. I tied the night. Nobody's bouncing your comments. Josh is a great friend of A2D. All right. And we're equal opportunity no matter who you're a fan of if you want to come talk to us. All right. Secondly, I know you're a big time fan. I just said it for you. I would fire Doug tonight. All right, Mark? I know you've been upset about it all week when I told you he's better than Frank Reich. Okay? I still think he is. But I need to make a statement. And maybe I don't fire him. But things got to change then. I fired a GM, no question about it. All right? If you're not firing at least a GM, I can't help anybody.
To me, the GM goes, you bring in an offensive coordinator, short leash next year.
A lot of family chiming in. Listen, I want to get to all of them real quick. All right, guys? Let me give a little run through because there's so many people. DP, Donovan, Jameis Winston numbers. What's up, brother? Kyle O'Brien, what's up, my man? He said, I want to know how well the quarterback factory is going.
It's out of business. It's out of business, hopefully, over the next 2 hours.
It's getting shipped over to China.
So, Andrew, you know what? You're the biggest fraud to ever come in an A2D chat. Okay, babe? This isn't the night. First off, what did I say about myself, exposing myself? Did you hear me? Or you have a problem hearing? Because I said I'll expose myself for thinking Carson was a franchise guy. Right now, over 11 games, he's far from a franchise guy. What else do you want me to say to you? All right, besides telling you I'll bench his ass. What else do you want me to say? I mean, what do you want me to say, guys? Because I want to believe in a number 2 overall pick. I want to believe our quarterback was a franchise guy, and he's still out on the field. All right, still out on the field. All the reports you heard this week are a joke, or a joke.
Listen, this dude here, Andrew Bailey, he's just one of those loser trolls. He comes in and he makes his comments when it's convenient. But the last time we did a live reaction when he was shitting on people and then they came back and they won, he fucking bounced out like a little bitch. So he could save his comments.
Franny Baldwin, someone has to lose their job tomorrow. It's ridiculous. Hey, Franny.
Tonight.
Thanks, Rye. Todd Womack in the house. What's up, Todd? I don't know about you guys, but it's sticking.
I don't know how Jalen's not in now. This is ridiculous.
I don't know how you pass on DK. Quentin Maurice, what up, Quay? What up, Q? He said, in Carson's defense, these wide receivers are garbage. Yeah, oh my God, and D-Jack stole money. Yeah, it's the worst wide receiving core. This is worse than what Donovan had. Pinkston and Thrash were better. Like, Pinkston and Thrash actually got open. This is disgusting. This is atrocious on all levels, okay? I told you when I came in, this isn't a one-man show here on what's been bad. This is top to bottom.
Doug, can you read that sheet, Doug? Can you read that sheet, Doug?
Dysfunction top to bottom. Dysfunction. Hope everybody understands what that means. From top to bottom. GM, coaching, skill position players, everything.
I think we're at the point now, we thought the team would be more competitive, obviously, this year, but the proof is in the pudding. After what we've seen this year, the decline has gotten worse and worse. It's time to blow it up. It's time to make massive changes in this organization.
Yep.
I can tell you right now, we're sitting here talking about Louis Riddick. From what it sounds like to me, and I'm listening to this right now, if Louis Riddick came in here, he wouldn't be making a quarterback change. Carson would be the guy. He would be making other moves.
You can't make a change.
But if you hear him talk about him, though.
No, agreed.
It's very clear that he wouldn't be making that change. He's talking about, again, it all goes back to Howie. His whole emphasis, listen, Carson hasn't been good enough, but they also haven't put guys there. And I'm not at all defending Carson. I've been on the bandwagon for a while that we need to make, whether it's a 1 week thing or whatever, we need to make a change and see what we have with Jalen. We need to hold Carson accountable.
No, Mark, say this. Mark said Doug kicks a field goal there. We have some hope to tie this game. It's really bad coaching. No more passes. Mark, I completely agree with you. Greg knows. Everybody knows my love for Doug because I think he's a motivator of men. Right? I don't think he's a good play caller. I always said this. Right, Greg? Right? Yep. Greg's known it for a long time. I've never crowned him on play calling. I never said he was the smartest guy in the room. I just said he's tough as nails, and I want him leading my men. But when you think you can call your own plays, that's when you lose in this league. All right? The best coach in the National Football League doesn't call his own plays. All right? And that's Bill Belichick. So grow up, Peter Pan, thinking you're the best guy in the room. Everybody. Sean McVay, no offensive coordinator last year. Rams stunk last year. Okay? So it shows you, he gets an offensive coordinator this year. Guess what? Rams offense looks better, doesn't it, though? For the most part. You know what I mean? So you can't think you're the best guy in the room. I'm done with it, Mark. And if he's fired tonight, I don't care.
Guys, what they need to do, honestly, and you guys were talking about it the other night. We've mentioned it a ton. What they need to do is take a playbook, a page out of the playbook of the 76ers, what they did the last handful of months. They didn't panic and go out, and here's another sack. I wonder if the refs will actually, call the whistle appropriately this time. They're not trading Carson Wentz because they can't, okay? As much as he has not been good, and it seems like, listen, I don't know if he's the guy. We're not getting rid of him over the next handful of months. So with that being said, they need to take a playbook out of the Philadelphia 76ers, get rid of everyone that's making decisions, and try to make some of the pieces that can actually still play here work. And if you want to have a short leash for Carson, be like, okay,
Miles called the ball.
See if he can respond to what we have next year. If it's a GM, if it's an offensive coordinator, hell, if it's a new head coach, then you do that. That's the only way you're going to fix this. And somebody needs to be fired tonight. I'm not waiting until Wednesday. I'm not waiting until Thursday. It has to happen tonight.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong, right? You score a touchdown to go into the half, and your kicker comes in and misses a kick. Everything that could go wrong with this organization has gone wrong, right? You get a nice little pass here, nothing crazy, but you pick up like 10, and then you get a holding call. Like everything that goes wrong. Now, we didn't get calls in the first half, but the fact that he's not in the game right now is mind-boggling to me. And to me, it means you're not holding anybody accountable, right? So now your head coach is starting to not hold people accountable. You got a 2nd and 30. You're down 20-9 with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. This is the worst football I've witnessed. And if Howie Roseman isn't fired immediately, Jeffrey Lurie is the softest owner in sports. You understand me? The softest owner in sports.
And that's where the problem's coming in, Tom. This is week after week. Last week was the worst football we watched. The week before that was the worst football we watched. It's getting worse.
It's compounding. It's compounding.
So, guys, I don't.
And honestly, what's the definition of insanity?
Hold on. Let me get to more of the comments. There's so many of them, and I know we'll be talking for a while. So, Austin, it says again, that's on Doug. Everything's on Doug. You know what I mean? I'm fine with it. Everything's on Doug. You know what I mean? In terms of the X and O's. You know what I mean? X and O's, everything's on Doug.
You see the face Jalen Hurts was just making on the sideline?
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be a meme. Sorry, Tom. I just wanted to throw that in there.
That's a good play. That's a great play. Who's dumb, Jordan? You guys are dumb as well, and give Jalen a healthy team, not a bang-up team. Who cares? I don't even care anymore. Like, I don't even care about the quarterbacks. I don't care about this roster. I would blow the whole goddamn thing up. Okay?
It's getting blown up anyway because we don't have any cap space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so you knew it was going to happen, so that's what makes this. Yep.
That's right. Maybe
for good.
I was hoping. I was about to say. Listen,
Oh my God! Look at Jeff.
Listen,
about Jeffrey Lurie, nobody leaves that locker room. People are fired. People are fired tonight.
Mm-hmm.
People are fired tonight. This is a disgrace that we sat through this on prime time. Prime at 4th and 31. This is cute.
7-step drop.
He was putting the binoculars away. That's what he was doing. How poetic.
Jalen Reagor, drop it. Not that.
Hey, Ralphie. Oh, he got to his chair. He went to his chair.
Not that.
I came upstairs. I turned it off and I came upstairs. Thank God my computer crashed because
I'm going to ask you guys one question, Ralph.
I'm out of breath. What's up? I think it's the fastest I ran up my steps.
Who's the one guy you can say I can build around him for the future on this offense?
Dallas Goedert, maybe?
Yeah, I was going to say Dallas Goedert. That's.
Is he going to break a tackle?
Family out there? No.
Maybe Miles.
Maybe
Miles.
Maybe.
Just because he's young enough. But, there's still question marks. He dropped 4 balls that hit him right in the hands tonight.
I mean, I agree with you.
My MVP running back can't have that.
Again,
his words, not mine.
I agree with you, but at the same time, with the way the NFL is now, where a lot of it is tandem running backs, I think he's good enough that if you can find somebody to counterbalance him and take some of the workload, I think that you could absolutely maximize him.
Yeah, I mean, Dallas.
Him and Dallas are the only two I have.
Yeah, Dallas and Miles, that's fine as young talent, but no star yet. Like, you're not. There's no star that you're like, yo, that guy's going to be a star. Like, they might be like really good players. Mulata's not going to be a star though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about who can be stars. Like, who's so good that you won't get rid of them.
See, like, Mailata is the type of guy who he's not the guy you build around. Mailata is the guy that
I don't want to talk about Jordan Mulata. I don't want to talk about Jordan.
But I'm just saying there are guys that
Crumb, our whole offensive line got blown up tonight. I'm not talking about anybody. None of them are built around guys. Not one person. I don't care. I'm done with them all.
I didn't say he was a build-around guy.
You said it the other night, and now I'm just clarifying he isn't.
No, I didn't say it was. No, I didn't say it the other night. You asked me for guys that had a good year so far. I think he's had a good year so far compared to everybody else. Yeah. That's not put words in my mouth.
I like putting words in people's mouths. I love you. Mark McLean. Oh, my bad. Nobody. Quentin says Arcega Whiteside. Yeah.
I might be giving you the finger in my head right now. Just
I tried to tell people something, right? I tried to tell people something when in the off season when we went out and got Darius Slay, right? And I didn't say he was a bad corner because he's not, but I just said he's not like a top 10 in this league. He's not like shut down. He's not a ball hawk, right? And tonight,
look at how dejected the Eagles.
The cheerleaders are literally just like this.
They're like texting. They're done.
They're
done tonight.
And I would say, now I got to remember where I was at on that, guys.
Darius isn't a top 10 corner.
He's not a top 10 corner, and I think we saw that tonight. Mm-hmm. Top 10 corners make that play. You had a chance to get Jalen Ramsey, a couple years back, and you didn't want to pull the trigger on that, and then you draft gadgets instead of playmakers and the whole thing. It's time to go Sixers, Rye, but in a different direction than what you're thinking. You know what I'm thinking, Rye? I'm thinking 2 years of horrendous football, right? A whole blow up, a whole start over, a whole get some top 5 picks and see what you can do. Because that's where you're at. Cap-wise, that's where you're at.
Yep. You're absolutely right.
You got to get rid of everything that's valuable.
It was this year or not. This was your last year.
Yeah. Greg, Fletcher Cox gets you a third. See it. Like nothing. I love Fletcher, but you understand where I'm at, guys? That's where you got to be at. Like Carson Wentz probably won't get traded because making too much money, but I would take the dead cap hit. I would literally take the dead fucking cap hit and walk away from everything. everything. This is the worst performance of all time.
So and I don't disagree with this if this is what you're saying. I just want to confirm. So we're doing Dolphins.
Yes.
We're pulling Dolphins. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
What else can we do? We have no money.
I don't disagree at all. I can't. I mean, how can we at this point?
Listen, you're a used car salesman right now. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's going to be the GM, hopefully not Howie Roseman, but you become a used car salesman, and you got to get rid of the whole lot. The whole fucking lot's got to go. I'm tired, guys. I can't believe that. I expect them to lose tonight, but I expected a better effort offensively. I expected the best game.
Yeah, at least can you show up at least? That's all we asked for. Just show up.
Ralph, I think
you didn't.
Bill,
Tommy, there's nothing more that we can say. There's nothing more that we haven't said over this whole entire season. I mean, it's getting old, man, and it's getting old quick.
Bill, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's just wrong. It's wrong. There's a lot of good goddamn corners in this league. Are you kidding me? You want to put him 11? Fine. Put him 11. Put him 12. Top 10's a different level, baby. Top 10 shuts shit down. Top 10 takes the ball away.
Bill, I know you're going to say, "Oh, you're only agreeing with Tom because it's Tom." But I think what Tom is saying is that he's not the player we traded for. I think that's Tom's point.
No,
not Jalen Ramsey. He's not like a top corner in football that people thought we were getting. I tried to calm people down. It's not a shot at the guy. He can play. Like, no shot, but I trade him too. I trade everything. Everything go. You are so cap riddled that you got to get out of contracts. And if you get a 5th-round pick for it, you walk away and you hope a new GM can draft and put together a better roster than what's been assembled here over the since the Super Bowl. Since the Super Bowl, the draft has been atrocious. There's no star players. There's no big-time impact players. There's no change of franchise top players. Bill, you're wrong. Come on Fan Friday, and I'll smoke you about it. All right? We'll really dive into the top 10 quarters. I'll go and do a little note work. All right? And I'll write them down for you. All right? And we'll have it on the bottom screen. Okay? Because I promise you he's not top 10 when you get deep into it, honey. Because there's so many. There's so many you're not even thinking about. All right? This isn't about Darius Slay night. This is about this whole roster, by the way.
Lord Walker makes a good point. They showed Howie Roseman packing up to go before the 2-minute warning, probably trying to avoid seeing Jeffrey Lurie. Of course, getting out of there.
Yeah. Listen, we thank you all for chiming in, too. What up, Troy? No notes, baby. You know it. What's it, Mark? What? Listen. My man said Slay just got shredded by a rookie from us, too. Who said that?
I guess Bill. I think he's trashing Bill.
Yeah, a second-year guy that we could have drafted, but we didn't like his body type in the physical. Like, the guy taking the physical was like, with his shirt off, you know what? We're going to fail this guy. You should fail your whole life. Your whole life's been a failure. You probably got your lunch money stolen. Okay? That's the kind of guy that fails DK Metcalf for a physical. Are you kidding me? I'm blowing up everybody's phone. I'm running to Jeffrey Lurie's house like Forrest Gump. Right? Like, Jeffrey, you got to get this guy. No matter what, you got to get this guy. Freaking joke. A joke of organization.
Can I just poll the room and all the fam chiming in, by the way? By the way, fam, let us know where you're tuning in from, by the way, so we know how much the hatred really is spreading around the country. Percentage chance that somebody gets fired tonight. Honestly, not what should happen, what will happen.
It's 75% chance. I mean, I think it's realistic. I think it's totally realistic. Something happens like now. That might be not something everybody enjoys. It might be something that's like a minor thing. But if you're asking me personally and you're asking the family, I want to know what they think the percentage is too. So I'll say 75. What do you guys say?
I'm going to say 65. Like, obviously someone should get fired, but again, Jeffrey Lurie being Jeffrey Lurie, it wouldn't shock me if nothing happened tonight.
Oh, my God. Okay.
I'm the total opposite. I'm like 5% chance because the track record of Jeffrey Lurie, until this team's mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, I don't see him making a move.
What? Playoffs? Listen.
Playoffs.
Listen, this team.
I know.
Alabama might beat this team. You know what I mean? I'm almost believing that.
I don't think there's a question that Alabama.
What was the college that Rager went
Matt,
to?
I'm sorry you woke up, Matt.
TCU.
Matt, I'm sorry you woke up.
TCU with whatever quarterback was so bad that it stunted Rager's growth last year, which I heard for 6 months. That quarterback could beat us.
I'm glad you're joining us and tuning in. But
who's the quarterback coming out right now? That's the question. Did they give Jalen a run here with 1:05 left? Or
It better be, or this phone's
I would
going
hope
through
so.
the TV. This phone's going through the TV if I don't see Jalen Hurts here.
I want to shout out everybody. Harlem Cowboy.
Of course he's here.
Travis.
Harlem hasn't been bad this year. I think he's finally realized that this fucking whole division stinks.
Well, I was going to say he hasn't been bad because his team's been bad.
I'm going to shout out everybody real quick, right? JP, what's up, my brother? Sariq, Bob, Steve, Todd Womack, Jeremiah, Quentin, David, Rob, Mark, Thab, Travis, Morris. Oh, my God. Is he still in? This is a joke. This is such a
Listen, we talked about it earlier. There's reports about how bad Jalen Hurts looks in practice.
I don't give a shit. Everybody looks
I
good.
agree. He should be in anyway. At this point, you have nothing to lose. But
Crum, we talking about practice right now, Crum?
What'd you say? What'd you say, Crum?
Really not believe in that guy.
Guys, can I say something one more time right here about this situation with Jalen Hurts? Would you expect the Howie Roseman draft pick to work out?
No, he's not. No, he's going to stink.
No, I mean, that's when I say clear house, everything can go. I'm starting over.
Mm-hmm. And you know what, too? You look at the track record of the draft. Herbert looks like he could play. Burrow, before he got hurt, looked like he could play. Mm-hmm. Tua obviously took over in Miami because they think he can play. You know what I mean? Like, so the track record of the Eagles actually getting someone that can play is probably slim and none.
Glenn, let's be honest. Let's be honest about the organization, you know, at this point, right? This is an organization that's inept. This is an organization that has proven that they spent all this money and this is their product. So remember something, everybody out there. This is an organization that should be all in this year. They're up against the cap like nobody's business. This is a win or go home. Wow, we're throwing that kind of ball.
Oh, boy.
Oh, he caught it.
Oh, my God, of course.
Richard Rodgers.
Dick Rod.
Of course.
That's such a joke. I wish that didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm almost offended that happened.
Yeah.
Dick Rod.
I feel like that catch is now going to keep somebody from getting fired. Because it's like, oh, we only lost by one possession. Or no, it's still two possessions. I can still do math.
Nathan, at this point, I would trade as many first rounders as you want to restart my organization with Trevor.
I do have to say that was a hell of a play by him to make that play on that. That was one-handed, just grab and tuck. He could catch it with one hand like that, and fucking Miles can't hit it catch it when it's right in his hands.
7 times.
Yeah.
7 times. Yeah.
I know.
I feel like he's dropped 7 balls, and the only thing I keep hearing is, "Oh, I'm ready for an MVP type of season. I'm ready for an MVP type of season." Catch a ball one time.
Yeah, Miles Sanders is another lie. Remember we talk about lies in this city? Guys who lie. He's another liar.
Yep. Am I wrong for asking this? Because honestly, because I know we hear it every
$63 million over the cap next year.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yep.
I know we hear this every offseason and every draft time, but is this the most important draft coming up that the Eagles have ever had?
I've been saying that like every year, right? To be honest,
I know. Like
the
that's
fact
why
that you're top 10, yes.
Well, because that's why I asked, because we've been saying that I think the last like 5 years that like it's the most important.
I've started playing draft games on my phone.
Micah Parsons.
I got Jamar Chase last night.
I'll
yeah, I saw a mock. Oh my God, oh my God. Hey, we actually converted one.
They just covered. Are you shitting me?
Backdoor cover.
We're not firing anybody now. We just covered. We covered.
Sleeping like a baby tonight. I don't know about
your definition of a backdoor
love
cover.
The Dick Rod backdoor cover.
Onside and they run it back. Like I can see us kicking it onside right here and them running it back. You know what I mean? But when it's onside and Richard Rodgers caught another touchdown.
Did you get 6 or 6.5, Tommy?
6.5.
Wow, you got the hook. Oh, you're sitting pretty right now.
Better got a 6.5. Before I seen it. Mark McLean says, "Yo, Vegas got banged." Cover. Let's go, boys. JP cover talk. Joseph cover. Giddy up and go. Hey, Merry Christmas.
Hey guys, there's still 12 seconds left.
Let's get it onside. Come on, guys. Never get out.
Greg, are you calling for a bad beat right now?
I'm calling for a DK.
Yeah, I'm calling for a bad beat. Yes.
I'm calling for a DK Metcalf goes 40 right here, right? In like 2.5 seconds. Like,
happy feet. Happy feet.
That's it.
All right, so Pete Evans on the Pete Evans line.
Ball game.
Ooh.
Chimes in and asks us, Could anybody see Howie stepping down?
He
before
doesn't
he's
have
fired?
he has too much
No,
freaking
no.
ego.
He's got too much ego to step down.
I will
Yeah,
say
no
this.
way.
I think he has too much ego to get fired. I
I
think
agree.
I think the ego would actually benefit him to say, you know what, I'm stepping down. I'm resigning. Resign. Resign means not fired. It looks better. We can all know it's a fire, but either way, he needs to, right? Because if Jeffrey's not going to fire him, or they go have the conversation, because that conversation should be had tonight, right? There's no other time to have that conversation. If we're not talking about on prime time having this kind of performance, and I don't care what the score says, this was atrocious. This was a train wreck. Our quarterback's not good enough. Our head coach isn't good enough. They're tied at the hip, right? I don't even care what our defense did tonight. They're overall not good enough. Okay, I don't care. This offense stinks. Everybody around Carson isn't good enough. We figured this out. So what are we left to do, family? We're left to blow the whole goddamn thing up and go tank mode. And I hate to say it because I love my Eagles, but if we want to get better, we need new personnel, new guys, briefcase to Louis Riddick, maybe 10 briefcases. All right, new car talk, whatever he fucking wants. Get him out of the booth, get him into the role, let him rebuild a roster. Let him rebuild a roster like Mike Mayock is doing it with Oakland, or Las Vegas now. Let him rebuild a roster. Get a draft guy in here who understands talent, who understands what the NFL is now up against, and it's time to start over. It is TTP. It is trust the process time when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. Jay Harrison, fired Doug immediately. For the first time in my life, agreed. I don't care. Everybody can be fired tonight. Like, it would be the most glorious day if everybody got fired, like even players. And they're like, hey, we're just stopping. We're done. You know what I mean? We're done. These guys want to talk about doing better all week. They want to lie. They want to lie to our faces all the time. And it's time to clear it all out. It starts tonight. And if nobody's fired tonight, I don't know what else to say about this organization.
I'll tell you what.
It's a big disgrace, man. It's a big disgrace right now.
What do you think Jalen Hurts was saying right there? You believe he's
To Russell Wilson? I was trying to figure the same thing out, Graham.
You believe
you know what he's saying?
Didn't put me in yet?
No, you know what he's saying? He's like, can you believe these guys thought I was you? Could you believe that these guys didn't draft me, but didn't draft you, but drafted me? That's what he's saying.
So, listen, what we learned tonight, and I said it before the game on the Sports Hounds, we were going to find out a lot about 11. Okay? And I've supported. Been a child of mine, and I am officially out right now. Like, if there's a bandwagon, I'm not sitting in it right now. I can't defend. I can't say anything anymore about what I've witnessed on the field, right? We try not to lie here. We try not to get our personal feelings about players or how we feel about them. We don't try not to let that dictate our decision-making. Jeffrey Lurie's pissed, and for the first time, I'm ready to move on from him. I know we're not trading them because of the contract, but we have so much dead cap next year anyway. Call quits. I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I'm totally at the point where I don't need to watch him anymore. I've seen enough. I've seen enough of this offense. I've seen enough of this coaching staff. I just don't know anymore, guys. I mean, there's so many things to pick from, and I really hope that 75% chance of somebody being fired comes to fruition tonight. Because if it doesn't, guys, I think we know everything we need to know, don't we? Everything.
At some point, you got to put your loyalty to the side, Tommy, and make the move.
Yep.
You have to.
Do we love Doug? Yeah. Do we like Howie? We like him. We know he's a nerd and stinks at the draft, but we don't hate him. But now I do. I hate everybody. Like, I don't like anybody. You ask me, Tom, do you like Carson Wentz? No, I hate him. Hey, Tom, you like Jalen Reagor? No, I hate him. Hey, Tom, do you like the MVP Miles Sanders? No, I hate him. Like, anybody that's impact guys. Tom, do you hate Dallas Goedert? No, he's actually good. Like, do you hate the defense? Nah, they competed. I'll give them credit. But
yeah,
overall, what's left to say, guys?
This is where you get to the point where guys' legacies start taking a hit, right? So we looked at Howie, and he was Howie hero and this and that. But at what point, how many years of failure before we look back at him and we say, like, we shouldn't have to say, hey, I know he got us that Super Bowl, but he was a failure. We should look highly upon him, even despite a slide towards the end, because that's common. But if we're going to keep this insane amount of loyalty to these guys to where they're being kept way beyond the point that they should be, it's going to put a hit on their legacy. It's not going to be like Nick Foles, who could go anywhere in this city and not pay for a drink or a steak.
Leave his door. leave his daughter in the middle of abroad. She's taking care of for the rest of her life.
That's right.
We'll never have to pay rent. Nathan, real quick. Tom, if Doug gets fired, who do you want next? Well, I'll go right off of Andy's tree again. I'll go Eric Bieniemy. You know what I mean? Like I'll go right off his tree again. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, I mean,
that's my number one guy as well, Tommy.
He's going to be.
I don't, you know what I mean? I'm not going to crown any guy until I see him as a head coach, but I think it's at least a breath of fresh air. It's something different, but the same in a way. But I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, I personally would be hesitant, not because I don't like Bieniemy. I'd just be hesitant to jump right back into that same tree.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, again.
Same old
shit.
You know what I mean? I'm with you. I like Joe Brady. Joe Brady's the name.
Thank you, Chrome. I was going to say the same thing.
Can I say something? If you go back to the tree and you win another Super Bowl, is it worth going to the fucking tree?
No,
What?
Yeah,
what?
But that you can't ask that question. It's hypothetical.
No, it's not. I'm asking you a question. If you already went. Hold on. You went to the tree.
Outside of the tree, and we go to somebody else who wasn't part of the tree. Was it worth going outside of the tree? It's the same culture in this fucking city that we continue to go back to the same well every time. At some point, if you're going to clean house and you're going to change the culture of this organization, you need to defer and deflect from the same old acts, same old habits.
That's
everything. Everything is we got to go off the Andy Reid tree now. Everything's off the Andy Reid tree.
No, it doesn't, Chrome. So you're going to overlook the best guy out there just for the sake of.
I like Joe Brady. I would take Joe Brady in a heartbeat. Boom,
okay.
Boom, tomorrow.
I don't care. Listen, Chrome, let me confirm something. I don't give a fucking rat's ass who it is if he can coach. But I'll tell you one thing. If you told me that I went back to the tree again and I got a Super Bowl, I'm signing up for it. And if you're not, you're an issue. You're an issue. Then your agenda.
It's a ridiculous question to ask.
No, it's not.
Any way you can ask, if I go off the Bill Belichick, if I say, hey, we're going to go off the Bill Belichick tree and I can guarantee a Super Bowl, would you go for it? Of course I would.
No,
I'm looking anywhere for a coach. But I'm not immediately, my first instinct isn't let's go back to the Andy Reid tree. Bieniemy's a great coach. I'm not saying he's not. But the fact that that's the first thing we go to immediately and we say, that's who I want right now, that's an issue. We need to look for it.
Hold on.
More than one guy.
Hold on. Do you think what is it? This is what I'm gonna say to you, dude. You're getting caught up in a tree. You're falling off a tree then, babe. Because no. Because at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, it shouldn't matter what tree somebody comes from. Okay? It should matter if he's a good head coach or not. Every head coach brings a different culture, right? So it's his culture. I don't care what tree. And I'm not hypothetical in you. I'm just saying we went to the tree once and won a Super Bowl. So if we did that again, you wouldn't sign up for it. All right? That's all I'm asking you. That's not a hypothetical, really. That's just saying we did it once and won.
Anybody. I'll sign up for anyone. I will sign up for anyone that can bring that here. But I'm not. My initial instinct is the Andy Reid thing. It's not my initial instinct. I want to look around. I'm not going right to one thing because that's what Jeffrey Lurie does in this city. He gets hooked to this Andy Reid tree and continues to go back to the well. And particularly with Chip Kelly not working out.
He went there one time and won a Super Bowl. What are you talking about? You're acting like this happens all. You stop it.
He turned around and then he went back to Howie and he brings all these same fucking guys back all the time. We have Marty Morningwig back again. Stop it. It's not just him. It's everybody. It's all from that culture. That same old organization.
It's the whole team. It's the whole team.
It's not just Doug. But again, and I said that before the season started. We got Marty Morningwig back again. Like we've been here and done that. I don't need him on this coaching staff. I want a new voice. But I like the enemy though. I'm not denying that I like it.
Well, that's why
now you say you like him
Joe
now?
Brady. But I also like Joe Brady.
I like Joe Brady too, but shut your mouth because I never. I love you. I'm just saying I don't give a rat's ass what tree I pick off of if the guy can coach. I don't care if the guy slept with Jeffrey Lurie's wife and it's that tree-ish. I don't care. I just want a guy who can coach. I want a GM that has a clue. I don't care personal relationships. If you can coach and evaluate talent, right, in those spots, I'm in. You can sleep with whoever you want. You can be in whoever's tree, whoever's backpack, whoever's sidecar on the motorcycle. I don't care. I just want a guy who can coach. And if we're resetting the whole thing, I'll say this too. If we reset everything and fire everything, I would still say, you know what? I'll keep Doug to rebuild it because he already rebuilt it once as a coach and won a Super Bowl. So I wouldn't be totally against that, by the way, too. But I also wouldn't be totally against if they fired him. Is that fair? Is that fair to say? I'm asking you guys because I don't know. Is that fair to say?
You'd keep Doug around?
Like if I blew everything up because I think he can rebuild something and win again because he already did it once. He already did it once.
So you fire everybody, but you keep Doug in the house.
And you bring him in, and the GM can make a decision after next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think Doug's contract ends after next year. Because I remember when we were going back to the not giving him the extension and everything. I think it goes to next year.
Correct.
I don't know. He's coached the last few games like he doesn't want to be here anymore. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Of course, you would play that side.
Well, I didn't want him here from day one, and that's absolute facts.
That aged well, though.
It has aged well.
Yeah,
it aged real well.
Got a trophy out of it. That's a terrible time.
Yeah,
real tough times.
And obviously, that was the anomaly of the whole thing.
Whatever,
unfortunately,
I'll take a trophy and 3 average years after any day of the week. You can say, Tom, every 5 years you'll win one, but then you'll just be an average team for the next 4. Okay, sign me up all day. Where do I sign the paper? Where do I sign the fucking paper, Greg? I just want to get broad. You get picky. That guys get picky over head coaches. Like it doesn't matter who the head coach is for the most part. If your roster stinks, so you can bring in the smartest guy in the room. If this roster is atrocious, we're atrocious.
I'll ask you guys this in the fam at home: which team was in a worse situation? This team right now, or the team the last year Chip Kelly was here and he got fired?
This one.
So that's exactly my point. To where it didn't matter if there was hurt feelings or something happened at a Christmas party with Chip Kelly. We didn't hold until the end of the season to fire him. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, since we can all agree who has eyes that cap-wise, team-wise, situation-wise, division-wise, this team is in a worse situation. You have to fire somebody today.
I agree.
There's no argument for, respect-wise, you won a Super Bowl. No, because, listen, if we were asleep for that entire year and someone tried telling me, hey, we won a Super Bowl 3 years ago, I'd tell you you're friggin' nuts. Mm-hmm. That's out the window.
There's
no excuse.
This is why a guy gets fired too, right? Because, like, you won a Super Bowl, that's great. And you went to the playoffs, that's great for 2 more years after that, right? And you overcame some adversity, that's great. All right, but then when your roster and your team really regress like this in 1 year, like you got this bad, that's
night and day. Night and day regress.
That's an indictment on everybody. That's an indictment on this whole. Last year we stunk too. So I mean, this didn't just start, right? So it's not like something just started. This has been 2 years of bad football. Inconsistent. This year's worse than last year. But last year, if you remember, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows.
No.
I'm gonna say this now, Dad, just because I'm already seeing the comments come in.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I'm changing head coaches, there is not a single person on this coaching staff, Deuce Staley included, that is getting the head coaching job. I'm going out and getting a different guy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we need to shut that shit down right now.
Can I say something too? If we clean house, we clean effing house. You understand? I don't even want a guy who showed a tablet here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you touch the tablet, you're gone. That's how it's going to work here. If you even put your fingertips on a tablet, you're no longer in the NovaCare complex. That's how it goes here. This is it. This is where we came to after Super Bowl. This is how far we've fallen when we spent all this money. We spent all this money, and this is how far we've fallen. This is a disgrace. Anybody that supports anybody on this team, like nobody's protected. Nobody wouldn't get traded by me. Everybody's up for grabs.
The Jaguars fight hard.
What I would say, right, Tom, and you guys can tell me if you agree with this. In terms of Doug, and if Doug is fired, to me, whether we change general managers or not, which we should, that should be Jeffrey Lurie's call at this point. So you bring it, if he's fired this year, that should be Jeffrey Lurie's call, and I'm 100% on board. However, if you go out and you bring a GM in, and he's still the head coach here, or at least at that point, that shouldn't be that general manager's call. I do believe in that instance, unless Jeffrey Lurie says, yes, you could fire him and bring somebody in, that should be Jeffrey Lurie's call. Otherwise, Doug has won a Super Bowl and did earn that at least a year with a short leash into next year to see if he can turn it around. Is that fair?
I agree with that. I think if you do bring in a new GM, say if Howie does get fired at the end of the year, or maybe even tonight, we hope to God, you do bring in a new GM, and then you have that 1 year with Doug to see, like you said, Chrome, to see if he can actually turn it around.
Apparently, Louis Riddick just said on the air to fire everybody.
No, he said his exact words were the fans in Philly are going to say, because they're fed up, they're going to say fire everyone. So that's why I jumped off air, because I wanted to hear what he had to say.
I feel like
he said the worst feeling is going back to the NovaCare complex tonight, saying to yourselves, well, we're still in it, but we're not in it. And he said that's the worst feeling in the world. And that's 100% spot on. That's why I brought back the beast. Like, this dude don't get out of Philly. Louis Riddick does not get out of Philly tonight.
I feel like he's kind of, indiscreetly, but kind of obviously making his own pitch now. He's like almost trying to prod and push the issue a little bit.
Hey, if you want to get rid of Howie, I'm here.
It's so there's something about it, man. I'm telling you, that's the first call I make. I tell you.
Who wants to start a
Hey, Howie, you got a couple minutes? Or I'm sorry, sorry, Jeffrey, you got a couple minutes?
Yeah. and I think that my
6 feet away, though. Yeah, 6 feet away.
My favorite thing from tonight, too, and me and Chrome were talking about it earlier, is when he literally dissed Harry Roseman saying, well, they could have had DK Metcalf, but they took J.J. Arcega-Whiteside instead. I lost my mind. It was the funniest thing tonight. It was my favorite thing tonight. It was awesome.
That roast of Howie in the first half, but never specifically mentioning his name.
Yeah.
And I actually like that they didn't do that. It was like a backhanded. It was just like a backhanded beatdown the whole time. It was amazing, beautiful.
What do I owe Jake? Bring that back up. I forgot our
bet. So the bet was, it was a couple weeks ago after the Giants game. They had to lose. Let me pull up the schedule real quick. They had to lose out. Hold on a minute.
I think they just had to. I think they had to lose the next 5 or something.
They had to lose. Yeah, they have to lose the next. So yeah, they have to lose the next 5. So they have to lose against the Packers, Saints, and Cardinals in order for me to win my bet. And all that.
Probably looking good.
I'll tell you what I'm happy about. Thank God they didn't win those 7 out of the last 8, huh? And I'd had a Mickey tattoo on my ass.
Forgot all about that.
I forgot about that too.
I'll say one thing though: this defense gave them every chance.
Absolutely. Yep.
Every chance to at least make this a game. Yep.
Schwartz
and the
saved his
offense
job
has
tonight.
said, you know what? I'm not feeling it tonight. I don't feel like doing this right now.
Schwartz is the only guy who can leave the building tonight, and I'm not even saying the defense played perfect. Like, there was things that are wrong there, but listen, tonight we're not even doing that. So Jim, you can go home early.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You might be the coach in the morning, so you're good.
Gosh, I don't know if everybody wants him to get fired. Josh Rodriguez. I mean, I think everybody's mad right now, and everybody has a right to be mad, and everybody has a right to want everybody out. Dan says, if you had a bet, would they land in the top 5? At this point, I hope so.
Yeah.
Right now, I think
right now they're 7 right now.
Yeah.
Right now they might be 7.
Well, that's
great.
great.
No. They were 7 beforehand, and I think now they're going to drop because now they're in like 4th. Are they last or are they still in 3rd?
3rd.
3rd because the tiebreaker.
Listen, if we don't win another game, we're going to be in the top 5.
You know, and honestly, guys, when we're sitting here talking about making moves and personnel decisions and this and that, there is no better time if you're going to pull the plug and you're going to start a rebuild. Getting into the top 5 or top 10 is the perfect time now to start with a new decision maker draft night. We
did it with Carson in a way. You know, we worked our way up there for a trade. Like, if you're in the top 5, you can maneuver yourself. You know, maybe what's his face says he doesn't want to play for the Jets, Lawrence. You know, and you have one of them deals, and you can get up there and get him at 1. Like, I'm that serious. I'm that serious.
And the higher your pick is, it costs you a little bit less to get up.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm tanking like I am, I want a quarterback then. You know what I mean?
But are the Jets moving from number 1 though? I mean,
if he's not going to play,
think so.
If he doesn't play,
he could pull an Eli Manning too. He could do that, but
well, they're also an organization that if they were wowed enough, they could still think, hey, there's a veteran out there that we can trade for and get. You know what I'm saying?
Wentz.
Carson Wentz.
Listen, the guy who used to be next to Howie Roseman's their GM now.
He probably had a lot to say about it.
Listen, do you go Wentz and say number 6 or 7 for the number 1 spot?
If that's all it takes, yeah.
Or Trevor Lawrence.
Give me number 1 in Darnold.
Oh my God,
I'll take him as a backup.
Yeah, I'm saying it's a backup, Ralphie. I'm not having.
Okay.
I take him as a backup.
I'm not Ralphie. The quarterback room isn't going to be Darnold and Hurts. My brain down.
So
Okay?
we're going to take Lawrence,
also okay.
Darnold, Hurts. We're really going to have a quarterback
factor.
Also,
Yeah,
okay, if we were like 5 and we got like Mika. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Micah Parsons. Like I would also be okay with that. I would also be okay with Chase, right?
What about the lineman? What about the lineman from Oregon?
No Pac-12. I don't care. I don't care.
Okay, good. We're doing good.
I don't care if he blocks out the sun. You know what I mean? I don't care what he does, bro. Like I got no time for Pac-12. I'm going either, Parsons because he can flat out play. You know what I mean? We already know that. So I mean, it's just a huge upgrade for the middle of my defense. I want offense help, but I don't have to go quarterback. Like I don't have to trade Carson yet, right? I can upgrade my defense. Try to get a skill position player in the second round. I'm probably going to move a lot of guys. So then I'll probably have extra picks, I would assume, right? And some more wiggle room to move around. And hopefully a new GM that can maybe get three guys out of this draft, maybe 4 that can actually play. And then you start your process. And you have your – I mean, we don't have to like Jalen Hurts at all. But at the end of the day, he's still a guy who's going to be here. And Carson's going to be here one more year. So, the other organization finds out they like him. You know what I mean? They find out if they like Carson. They find out if they like Jalen, and they don't have to draft a quarterback right there because if they're going to stink, they're going to stink. Like if them guys stink, then they're going to lose, and they're going to be able to get the quarterback down the road.
And if they're good, if anything, that helps us. Like people think like, hey, maybe we should just tank for 2 years and try to stink. No, we just build up. We blow up everything behind the scenes, and then hey, if we draft smart, Carson has a bounce back year. And maybe Jalen Hurts shows some signs. Hey, that's good. That means you have value. That means, hey, we are closer to not tanking any more than we thought.
We would hope we would have a better offensive line next year. So, I mean,
especially health-wise, yeah.
Absolutely. You hope to get Brandon Brooks alone back would help shore some things up in the middle. Because you're getting exposed in the middle, and that's hurting Carson for sure. No excuse for him because he's played terrible. But at the end of the day, you need to get things blocked up. So, I mean, I don't know if offensive line, I probably don't go in the first round. I honestly, I got to go impact player. You know what I mean? I got to go star caliber player. I drafted a left tackle. You know what I mean? Ralphie's boy. So it's like I drafted one in the first round. I got to find out if he can play. Mm-hmm. And James Young says Dillard couldn't even block him on Twitter. That's great.
And then that comment, TJM, we're all fully aware that we owe Carson a buttload of money. But if he's not the guy especially for the new GM, then why not move on from him or try to move on from him, even though we're going to eat the cat?
Mr. Belosa says, Rigger a bust. Right now, I don't think he's good. I'm not going to call him a bust yet because I don't know, but he's not. Every other guy that was drafted in the first round is impactful.
Speaking of busts, though, was passing on DK for JJ worse than the Sixers passing on Paul Pierce for Larry Hughes?
I would say this is definitely worse because Larry Hughes at least ended up being a pretty decent player in the league, an above-average player in the league. He wasn't great, but I would say this is much worse because, I mean, Arcega-Whiteside couldn't catch COVID right now if somebody coughed in his fucking face without a mask.
The dude's not even on the field. JJ's not even on the field, man.
My buddy Drew sent that. He's like, I don't know which one's worse. And I'm like, I'm going to bring that up because that's a good comparison.
And it's a great question. But, I mean, again, Larry Hughes at least was an NBA player. J-Jaw is, I don't know what he is at this point.
Yeah, he just wasn't for us, though, at the time.
Yeah. I mean, he was young. We moved on from him quick, though.
Yeah.
Matt says, who was the last Pro Bowler he drafted? I don't even know. Lane, Zach, maybe. I mean, it's a
Carson.
Probably.
Yeah, it was Carson. They mentioned it.
That's fun.
Carson is the only Pro Bowl player that they have drafted since 2013. That was mentioned tonight on the broadcast.
Dank makes a good point though. Seahawks owed a lot of money to Matt Flynn, and they just ate it. You know what I mean? So you can just eat it. You can definitely just eat it. Guys, I don't even know who I want right now in the first round. We're so depleted that like I'm in such the best player left on the board guy that when we get there, like I don't even care who it is. Like
there's enough holes on this team that it's absolutely that best player on the board.
You guys want to know what he just said about Jalen Hurts, about them? Because I'm watching this idiot at the podium right now. Yeah. He was asked, like, what was the plan going in the game involving Jalen Hurts? He said that they didn't have enough opportunities to use Jalen Hurts. The hell does that mean?
I mean, when you get 4 yards in pretty much the first half, I guess that would equal you not having – I don't even know. I mean,
that whole Jalen is going to get used more shit this week. That was – I think you guys mentioned it last night, and I think it came to play. I think that was them trying to, quote-unquote, throw off Seattle and throw another wrench into the game plan, but there was never any intention to use it.
Didn't work. Work.
Nope.
What do I always say to you guys? Stop listening to pressers because they don't tell you nothing or they lie.
They don't tell you shit. No, they lie to you. It's all bullshit.
And it's another one of their lies. And at the end of the day, for the first time since the hire, I would say I would fire everybody, including Doug Peterson. I don't care. I'm not over at all. You know what I mean? I want something new. And new not always is good, but you can't be scared of new, right? You can't assume that the next guy can't coach. You can't assume that there's not another guy out there that's better. You can't assume that stuff, guys. So you have to hope that if you bring in the right GM, that he'll make the right move there. And you got to put hope that whoever your new GM is, that can actually talent evaluate. I will be the most pissed off guy in this area if Howie Roseman is still here on draft day. I just want to make that clear to everybody. If Howie Roseman's any part of this draft coming up, I'm done. I am done with this organization, and I'll still watch them, but I don't respect them at all.
Two at a time.
I hate you, Chrome. I really do.
Who do you start next week?
What's that?
Who do you start next week?
Well, you already know who they're going to next week. I mean, they're going to ride Carson out to the end of the year, dude. And they're gonna obviously throw Hurts in here for a little bit, but I mean it's gonna. I think Carson finishes out the year, and then we go into the offseason, and then there's the big question mark again: is he gonna be here? Are they gonna move him?
I think it depends on what happens. If something happens tonight or tomorrow, you might see a quarterback change. If nothing happens, then nothing's gonna happen on the field either.
I just think. Oh, go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead.
No, I'll just add this real quick, Ralphie, and then I'll shut up because I got to listen to what else he has to say on the podium. But to me, I think it's as simple as the owner really wants this backup quarterback on the field, as we've heard, and everybody, all the coaches know that the kid isn't ready, that they're going to put him out there and he's going to look somehow worse than Carson Wentz. And that's not bashing the kid; it's just the way it is. So I think that's the reason to where the organization says, hey, and the owner, hey, we want to see more of the kid. And Doug's like, well, he doesn't belong on an NFL field yet. Mm-hmm. I think that's why we've seen so many mixed.
You know what? You know what's funny too? And this goes back 4 or 5 weeks ago when we learned that Howie Roseman has his hands. He's the guy that makes the final call for the final 53 going to game day. Mm-hmm. So I mean, if Lurie's telling him, yo, no matter what, he's got to be on the active roster when Sunday comes, he's on the active roster when Sunday comes. So, I mean, to me personally, I don't think the GM should have his hands on the 50-man active roster leading up into game day. I think coaches should have that decision on who plays and who doesn't.
Especially, Ralphie, when that same GM, the last 4 years, every single year, has talked about not only we're not like this is outside of Jalen Hurts. It's the entire picture now. It's the entire narrative to where it's all been lies. Who else has he been highly touted for saying this guy could be a star caliber starting quarterback in the NFL? A guy who's wearing a damn T-shirt tonight.
Nate Sudfeld, right? They said that about 3-4 years ago, right? And he keeps on getting extended and extended and extended. And then we're also going to ask this question too, because did he shoot up for the Seahawks game, correct? The playoff game, correct?
Ew.
Was he dressed for that game?
Yeah.
Nate Sudfeld.
Yes.
I think so.
Okay,
Yes.
so if this dude was the quarterback of the future, he could start for multiple teams in the league. So when Carson went down last year with the concussion of the Seattle, why wasn't he not in the game? Why was Josh McCown in the game?
It's all a lie. If he was that star caliber quarterback, you wouldn't have drafted another one in the second round. It's all a lie with this.
It's all bullshit, man. It's all bullshit.
And I don't even.
And this happens with Howie Roseman too. And this is what's going to happen, right? When you don't have a GM who can draft well, you're going to get bad contracts because there's always going to be holes on your team, no matter what. If you can't draft well, your destiny is to give out bad contracts because of the many holes that you created because you can't draft well.
Eagle City. Who's panicking? We've been saying for the last 3 hours that Hurts isn't ready. What are you talking about? Sorry, Greg.
No, I was just saying you can't expect to build a sustaining team through free agency.
Yeah,
you need to hit on some drafts.
Yes.
We got lucky in 2017, and that was it.
Marquis says, with the 8th pick, the Eagles select Sarah Fuller Vanderbilt. Yeah, well, I guarantee you she's better than Jake Elliott.
I don't know. Did you see that kickoff?
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
At least it went straight somewhat.
No, looked like my golf ball, short and to the right.
Listen, I'm trying to give her some credit so that way she's better than Jake Elliott, okay?
If anyone's watching the Doug Peterson press conference right now, just like his body language is just so damning, it's ridiculous.
I mean,
he knows he's in trouble.
TTP's done with him. He says, this nut on the podium has to go. Take the autobiography with you. Yeah, fearless, huh? Oh, yeah. If anyone cares, his explanation for not kicking the field goal right before Carson threw it, just right in the middle of the Seahawks guy's hand, he says, quote, we needed to be as aggressive as possible, even though, hey, if he actually makes that kick, it's an 8-point game. It's a one-possession football game. Math, Doug. Math. Simple.
Yeah, like I get the aggressiveness. I get trying to get the touchdown because that's the harder side of it. But when the drive stalls and you have a chance to make it a one-possession game, especially when your defense has played above average in the game, and you just because you went for it on 4th down on your own side of the football field and essentially gave up a field goal anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have a chance to get that field goal back and get you to one-possession game, and the aggressiveness needs to come out again.
All right,
you're down 20-9. You kick the field goal down. You're down 20-12 with about what it was like 8-9 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. You get another defensive stop. Hopefully, your offense can at least do something. You drive down, you get a touchdown, you go for 2. It's a 20-20 game right there.
Mm-hmm. I gotta say, guys, I'm watching a little bit of this as I'm listening to you guys, and even with the volume turned off again, I just see the demeanor of this head coach.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
he looks absolutely defeated.
Yep.
That's
Absolutely.
Your leader who looks like he has no interest in being there. He looks like there's absolutely zero optimism whatsoever. You do hear him answer questions.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's a very defeated tone. I just think I love Doug, and I always will. Listen, he'll always be in a statue outside of the link. But it's time to move on from Doug. It's time to move on from Howie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ready to move on from Carson yet, but he's on a thin string for me too. He's walking a thin line.
Real quick, just because I know we didn't all get a chance to do it, like rapid fire, just percentage chance that someone gets fired in the next, let's say, 5 hours here. Chrome, you start.
20. Oh, okay.
5%.
Wait your turn, Ralphie. What'd you say?
5%.
Greg.
20.
Ralphie.
15%.
Jake.
I'm gonna say like 30 now.
I'm going 55.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the track record of the organization.
Right.
No, you're right.
I mean, like, should somebody get fired? 100%.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Mathematically,
when they fired Chip, how many games do we have left on the schedule? What was that? One game. It was at New York. It was the Giants game, correct?
Correct.
And that was it.
Rome.
If they could write out Chip Kelly for for that many weeks until one final game left in the season, I mean,
mathematically not eliminated, and the Super Bowl probably buys them till the end of the year.
Yeah.
Rome, don't do the y'all love Carson thing. Nobody said why? Because Chrome said that we're not getting rid of him. It's not because we love him. It's because of a contract and a cap hit, Rome.
Yeah, you can't get rid of Carson. And even if you could trade him and you were going to eat the contract, his value is at its lowest right now. You're not getting anything back for him. Not enough. I mean, not enough to take that cap hit.
No. When we're already in cap hell as it is, we're already 66 plus. How much over the cap, Greg?
63.
63 over the cap.
Come on, Rome. And Rome, if you're, don't tell me that you're a Jalen Hurts guy, because I can tell you right now, and I wasn't. I'm not going to say who the source was, and you guys know it's a very notable person who covers the Eagles. already said today off the record, the reason Jalen Hurts isn't in games is because he stinks. Because he's been awful in practice.
Yep.
He looks like he has no idea what's going on.
And then that's going to ruin the kid's confidence, too. He's not ready to go, guys. I mean,
that's all day. Yeah, that's what it is.
It's not about the kid. Like, everyone says, like, oh, well, you're hating on Jalen Hurts. It's the point. The coach, everyone is saying that is in the building. He's not ready. If he was ready with all this slop, he'd be in there.
Rome, if this was Madden, dude, you can make those moves. And we love you, Rome. You're in on our things. But this isn't Madden, dude. There's other factors. You can't just make a decision because you don't like how a guy's playing. There's other factors that come involved. Money, cap hits, how the other guy looks. You guys, we don't see it. You have to go by the people who have the knowledge on that. And the word that's gotten out from the source that we have, and also I looked around after the fact that it has been reported how terrible Jalen Hurts looks in practice. The Eagles aren't going to tell you that. They're not going to say that.
Nope.
But he looks bad. And you can't put a kid out there who has no idea what's going on. It's just the matter. It's the way it is. Not to start anyway.
TTP with some stats. He says ESPN just tweeted Carson has 15 picks, most in the NFL, 46 sacks, most in the NFL, 95 off-target incompletions, most in the NFL. Oh, it's not good.
They did say he had a 24% missed target percentage or something in terms of his passes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Off targets, passes, whatever.
Mark McLean says,
can it be worse than Carson? Yes, it can.
Yeah, you can put up 0 points
Absolutely
every game. I mean, it can be worse. I mean, I'm not. I mean, that's the honest answer. I mean, we could put up 0, so it can be worse.
Much worse.
Not
you got Mitch Trubisky out there.
Yeah, I mean, we could throw DiNucci out there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's.
Like I'll pull the Mitchie Poo troll out and put it to the side for a minute. You got Mitch Trubisky throwing the football for you out there right now. You got Sam Darnold throwing the football for you out there right now.
I agree with this, Jesse. No separation, no protection, no offensive scheme, no identity. Doesn't matter who plays quarterback, Wentz or Hurts. No one succeeds in this system.
Bingo.
I agree. And I guarantee you when people see that, they're going to be like, oh, you're providing excuses. No, it's a reason. It's not – that doesn't mean that we think Carson is great. That means, hey, it all sucks.
This is the thing, right? There has to be one answer for everybody. So it either has to be Carson or it's got to be this. You can't say, hey, Carson needs to play better. But then the other guys need to do a better job coaching. And the GM needs to do a better job at personnel decisions. You're not allowed to acknowledge all the different assets. It's, oh, you know what? I'm saying Carson, and Ryan, you can vouch for this because you've been on with me a lot. I have early on was on the I don't like what I'm seeing from Carson. I'm ready to see Hurts. I'd said that, week 5? I've said that, and I'm a Carson guy, and I've been on that bandwagon. But that being said, you could still say that he's been terrible. He needs to make better decisions. And I already am on the record of saying sit him at some point, not start a game. At some point he needs to sit. It should have been tonight. And Jalen comes in. But that being said, it's okay to acknowledge the fact that, hey, he doesn't have an offensive line out there because Howie didn't know how to put together any depth on this offensive line. Oh, Doug's not coaching, and they needed a fucking offensive coordinator. There's plenty of blame to go around. It's not being an apologist. It's being realistic. There's not one answer.
Miami, I love the comment. I love you chiming in. Appreciate it. Alshon's been out except for the last 3 games.
And he caught 1 pass.
Djax has been out for the entire season.
Fulgham
was undrafted. Or maybe not undrafted, but we signed on to scrap heap, played 4 good games, and has been, gone ever since.
Non-existent.
So what type of good receiving core do we have?
Yeah, this guy doesn't, because he just said Ertz. Ertz hasn't played in
Ertz has been out for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
To add a little more fuel to the fire, per Mike Duggar, who covers the Athletic in Seattle, during pregame, DK Metcalf said in his postgame interview, Eagles defensive coordinator came up to him and said, quote, I was in Detroit with Megatron. You're not there yet.
Why are you talking?
Well,
bro, he just had 177 yards.
He had a career game against us.
What are you talking about?
Wait.
Good work, Jim. Good work, Jim.
That was Schwartz who said that?
Yeah, defensive coordinator. Yeah, Jim. You put up 177 yards on your defense, Jim.
I'll send it to you, Ray.
Oh, great. So now I can see it. So my eyes can start. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Somebody said earlier, though, which I agree with. Trying to find it real quick. This is who I believe gets fired tonight. Press Taylor.
Yeah, but that's just like
it doesn't.
It doesn't move the needle, right? It doesn't change anything.
I'm not saying I'm rooting for it. I'm just saying that's who I think gets fired. I'm not saying, oh, good, I feel great tomorrow morning, I'm going to go for a morning jog. No, I'm not saying that.
No, and you know
that's what I think's going to happen.
No, you know what, Rye? You know, that's fair. If that, I could see that happening because a lot of times when they're not ready to make a decision, and I can tell you this is, I'll bring up the baseball Cardinals, right? Mike Matheny should have been fired. And I'm going to bring it up for this reason. Mike Matheny should have been fired. You guys know I was on that. You know what they did? They went out and fired a hitting coach. Had nothing to do with the hitting coach. But it's the same thing like they do in baseball, right? The manager should be the guy. We're making changes. We're going to change the way this coaching staff is. And then they turn around and it's the pitching coach that goes. And it's like, what? No, it has to be the fucking manager. That's what it's going to be. That's going to be the first strike, the warning strike. They're going to get rid of Press Taylor. And then the others are going to ride it out to the end of the year.
Tom, did you hear what Jim Schwartz said to DK? Were you on headset when? Oh, Jay, can you just tell Tom real quick what he said to DK Metcalf before the game?
So, per Mike Duggar, who covers the Athletic in Seattle, DK Metcalf said in his post-game interview, Eagles defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz came up to him during pregame workouts. I was in Detroit with Megatron. You're not there yet.
Somebody screenshot his face right now.
10 for 177.
Yeah, 177, Tommy. 177, Tommy. He dropped on us tonight on his defense.
So we're at the point now where we're talking shit.
Yeah.
He can go. Retire like Megatron. Time to go, Jimmy. Time to go. Listen, it's clear house time. I don't care. Like I said, Carson can go. Doug can go. Everybody.
You know, I wouldn't be shocked if some of these coaches just find little things to do, right, to piss somebody off just to get fired, right?
Yeah, right.
Like, I wonder if Jim Schwartz just woke up today and said, you know what? Fuck it. If we have a bad game, I'm out. Let me go up to DK, say this. He drops 177. Hopefully I get fired tonight. If not, I'll do it next week. All right? I'll keep on doing it until I get fucking fired.
This is going to be Devontae Adams next week.
Yeah.
His shtick now. He's just going to take digs at the number one wide receivers on the other side.
And he'll keep on saying the same thing. Hey, Devontae, I was in Detroit. I mean, you're not Megatron yet, okay, bud? And then Devontae drops 230 on us. We lose by 45.
Or he goes to Rodgers is like, yeah, you're not Brady.
Yeah.
You're Matt Stafford.
Press Taylor goes up to him and be like, yeah, you're not Brady. You're okay. You're not great.
Can I ask a question? And I'm not trying to take shots at all. Mark McLean, did you not just hear? We've been we're now doing the Carson apologist thing. You're saying to us what? We've been crushing them. Like I have we not? Have we not?
Yeah, Manny, he can go. I don't know what else to say, guys. You know, like I want to hope. I want to pray. I want to keep believing he's the guy. But my eyes don't lie to me. And they never have. And what they're telling me is struggle bus city. What they're telling me is regression. What they're telling me is not franchise quarterback. Actually, the opposite. And I'm actually upset to say this. I'm actually upset to say that I would get rid of everything. You know, and listen, man. Slay's sick at the podium. That's great. So maybe don't talk shit, Jim Schwartz, if you know that going into the game. Where do we go from here? I know somebody asked.
Going to be bad for a while.
No idea.
There's so much to unpack, right?
Yeah.
So
there's so many. You're right. There's so many layers.
It's layers.
There's so many layers.
Like if you're like a coal miner, you know what I mean? Like there's so many layers to get down there. You know what I mean? And I don't want to go through all the layers, so you just fire everybody. You know what I mean? That's how you get rid of layers. And I don't know if anybody's gonna get fired tonight, guys. I truly don't believe it. I truly believe our owner is a loser. All right, he's starting to become a loser to me too. You paid your quarterback $100 million just to say you want Jalen Hurts. What is going on here? Yep. Have you looked at your if you looked at your linebacker core, I was like, okay, these guys are playing a little bit better. But if you looked at your wide receiver core, you look at your running back core, you look at your offensive line.
But there's no one.
I gotta cut you guys real quick. So Joe Fan, I think his name is, who works for NBC Sports Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
First, they went back and they referred to the tweet or the comment where Schwartz said to DK Metcalf, what we just said. DK Metcalf then followed up, told them he had that in his head the entire game.
Oh, of course he did.
And then at the end of the game was quoted as saying Philadelphia could have been home, but it isn't. And now I have to make them pay. That's what he said after that comment.
All right. Hey, you know what? Thanks for having me tonight. It's time to go to bed. It's been a long day.
I'm right with you,
Philadelphia
Ralphie.
could
Jesus
have
Christ.
been home, but it isn't. And now I have to make them pay.
Can I say something?
Wow.
All he's done playing against us is make us pay. So
Absolutely.
Yep.
that indictment alone, Justin Jefferson indictment, Patrick Queen indictment, there's indictments all around. I am done with this organization. I am done with excuses. I'm done with I got to do better. I'm done with it all. It is time to put the bomb on the NovaCare complex. Drop the bomb. Hiroshima talk. You know what I mean? Like it's blow it up. Players got to go, right? Front office people have to go. Scouting department needs to go. I mean, when I talk about clean house, it's not just the guys at the top. It's everything underneath. What I said? What's wrong, Lord? Tom, you okay, brother? You look like you just screamed like the clip they showed the Sixers game from the movie Traffic. I don't know if I'm okay. You know what I mean? I don't know. Look, I don't know anymore. Donovan, thanks, brother.
Thanks,
He
Tom.
said, how many years will the Eagles be trash? 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 2? I would say 2 years. You would hope you could turn around in 2. You know what I mean?
What year is this?
Well, I'll
2020?
say it if you count this year. I'd say at least 3. I would go more the 1 to 5 range than the 1 to 2.
We'll be back in
I
the
think-
playoffs in 2023.
I would say this year, next year, and the year after we're good. Or at least like a team going in the right direction. That gives you 3.
Yeah.
That gives you 3.
I mean, next year you're going to be in cap hell. You got to get a lot of this money off the books. It's going to take a year or 2 to do that and then be able to construct the team. So I agree with Ryan in terms of if you count this year, 2021 and 2022, I think are going to be rough years. 2023 is where I think the slate is somewhat cleaned up a little bit that you can rebuild this team properly.
Next
As long
year,
as you hit on draft picks.
yeah.
Correct. You have to have the right person making those decisions draft night.
If everything goes to plan, next year is going to be like 3-13. The following year is going to be like maybe the same thing, maybe 6-10, 5-11, and that following year you're going to be finally in the playoff discussion. But that's 2023.
Maybe, yeah. Nothing's guaranteed. That's
that's if things go well.
But I don't know, like, you got to, for me to make that prediction, I need to know who's the general manager, who's the head coach, who's this year's pick, right? Like, what direction do they go this year? Jacob, no shot Carson's here in 2023. No. I mean, unless there's a resurgence at the end of this year, like which I thought would happen tonight from him, which didn't. What else? How is he? And honestly, how is he here next year? The way this is going, how? How do you make an argument for him to be here besides the money side, right? And a lot of teams.
That's the only argument right now.
Eagle City. What? You can't see a bad season next year, Eagle City? What do you like? What's outlandish about that?
What? Tyreek Hill? Does Jalen Hurts turn into Tyreek Hill? I mean, Jalen Reagor. Does Jalen Reagor turn into Tyreek Hill?
I swear to God, people need to take off the goggles.
What about this team tells you that they're going to be any better next year?
Front office aside, there's $63 million over the cap. Half of this roster is gone, and that's probably a good thing.
And then they can't pay for more people. Like and we can't draft. Like, I'm not saying 3-13 because I think it's fun. I'm saying 3-13 because that's what's going to happen. Would you like me to say 0-16 if 3-13 is not good for you? Because I'm not going higher than that.
Nope. You need to start setting a realistic expectation for yourself, Eagles fans. We need to take off the midnight green color glasses and really prepare yourself. Because if you're not prepared for what's in store for the next couple of years, it's going to be a real long couple of years for you. And it's going to be long being prepared for it. time to find another team to boost your spirits in this city, guys. Flyers, Sixers, hell, who knows? Maybe the Phillies will get a general manager. At this point, as bad as they are, I'd be more optimistic than I am with them than I am with the fucking Eagles right now. At least over the next 2 years.
Say the Phillies that we have a baseball team. What? Who?
I'm not optimistic about anything besides maybe the Sixers and the Flyers. This is just a joke. It's a joke. I know everybody's saying they want Louis Riddick. I mean, yeah. I mean, we talked about it. There's a lot of contracts that are going to be gone. I know Ted FX is talking about contracts.
You got a question here, Tom. Do we keep our offensive line coach?
Yes.
I would. He's the only guy who survives to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I would.
And that's if a new coach wants him, then yeah. I mean, he's the only guy that maybe has done enough to, keep his job and get another shot for next year.
I can't blame him for the rash.
No, for this mess.
I can't.
10 different offensive lines starting football games this year.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I can't.
It's been bad, but he's done enough. I would say. He's the one guy who I think the way the situations have fallen this year definitely has an excuse.
Nathan, it is going to be a long 2-3 years, brother.
Yeah.
And that's just what happens when you miss, right? I mean, it all comes
consistently.
Yep, preach it, Greg.
And that's what I was saying, Tommy. When you draft bad, you have to give out bad contracts and free agency. I mean, it is what it is. You constantly miss on draft picks over every single freaking year. It's getting too old.
2016 on. Can you just go over the draft from 2016 on? And I know Carson was that pick, but I just want to go through all the rest.
And the entire or top three rounds?
Top 3 is fine.
Okay.
Unless there's like somebody really impactful you want to throw in.
And we knew this day was coming, guys. We knew this day was coming with how bad the draft picks have been. At some point, it was going to catch up. This is the time that it has.
Most recent to oldest or oldest to most recent?
Oldest.
Go oldest.
Oldest, yeah.
So 2016, obviously, you said it was the Carson draft. So that was Carson and Seumalo, top 3.
Okay.
The other one, he's not here anymore, but the other one of somewhat value was Big V. Vitae was in the 5th round.
Okay.
Right? 2017, you had Barnett, Jones, Douglas, first 3 rounds. 1, 2, 3.
2 of the 3 aren't even here. You gave up on them.
2 of the 3 aren't here. Yep. Also in that draft was the Donnell Pumphrey draft, where it was running back heaven, and we got the wrong one.
Yeah.
Everybody was drafted in that draft except for us.
Should have been fired for that alone. Should have just been fired that night.
We were on auto pick.
Well,
we would have done better, Ralphie.
Completely fucking forgot about that.
That's the start of the indictment. That's the start of the indictments. Right?
And then
indictment. Go ahead,
and
Greg.
then also in that draft, if you go back and look at it, especially because Sidney and Rasul aren't here, if you look at the wide receivers at both of those spots that were taken after Sidney and after Rasul, it's unreal also. It's unbelievable. And I only bring that up just because they're not here right now. If they were here and playing, it's a different scenario, right?
Yeah, but it just shows you more misses. Right?
Absolutely.
More indictments. Go ahead.
2018, Dallas Goedert, we didn't have a first-round pick, was your 2nd round. And that was the Jordan Mailata draft in the 7th.
I mean, that's just a meh draft. That's a meh.
Yep.
That's a meh.
2019 was Dillard, Sanders, and J-Jaw. And 3 out, and but in that draft, you only had 5 picks. So when you miss on 3 out of 5, because Sharif Miller and Clayton Thorson are no longer even playing football anymore.
I forgot about that friggin' guy. I forgot all about that.
So when you go 2 out of 5 in a draft pick with only 5 picks, that's a big miss.
QB factory talk, right?
We should have seen it coming. We should have seen it coming.
And then, of course, we have the Jalen brothers, Rieger, Hurts, and then Davion Taylor, who sniffed special teams today.
I would say right now, straight face, there isn't a hit draft.
No.
There isn't an exciting draft right there where you're like, yeah, that was a really good one.
And especially now because we don't know what Carson Wentz is, right? He's not the guy. So that becomes a miss.
Well, when you draft that and then you miss all that following it, you hurt that pick. Right? Because you're not putting anything around.
And you're seeing it now. You're seeing it now. When you constantly miss on draft picks, this is what you get.
Yep.
And he's the guy who valued him so much, Ralphie. He's the one who walked and talked like they were so important to the success of this football team and then just failed on it. Like, I want to crush Doug just like the rest of you is, but I'm a big believer in starting up top. Who's doing the grocery shopping, right? And the grocery shopper is flat out stunk. I mean, he's bringing me organic shit, babe, during the pandemic. Like, I don't want organic, man. I want some fast food. I want some shit that's going to hit right now. You know, I want some Justin Jefferson. I want immediate impact guys. I am sick and fucking tired of hearing about, 3 years from now, he's going to be good. Listen, some of you guys out there that value positions and think you know the draft, I would shut it the fuck down. All right? I would shut her down. Because at the end of the day, when you're in the first round and a guy's not a big-time impactful guy and you're not looking in the SEC, you're a joke. You're a joke. If you're not going to get one of the best players in somebody's conference, right, in the first round, get out of my house. Get out of my house. You know what I mean? When the SEC is full with talent. You had 2 SEC guys on the board, and Jefferson and Queen. 2 winners. 2 winners. Yep. They just won a national championship. I want to build my roster with winners. I'm not saying you always do that. I'm just saying in this instance, you had an opportunity, right? And, like, look at all the other picks. You know, Kamara. You missed on Kamara, SEC guy. Like, it's like they don't go there, Greg. And then when they do, they go to Tennessee. They go to Barnett, who's fine. Like, he's fine. Like, when you talk about these first-round picks, you say, they're fine. Like, that means they're not good enough. What do we do? None of them are good enough.
And we even said coming into this draft this year, we're done with project guys. All of us had said it. Either, on numerous shows. We're done with project guys. And yet again, it feels like we got another group of project guys. We got to wait 3 to 4 years just to see if they panned out.
Oh, I'll put this on record right now. Jalen Reagor is not going to be like a Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver.
No.
Nope. My eyes don't lie to me early on, okay? Early on, they don't lie to me. So everybody that crowned them and had them in their top 2 on their big board, I suggest you pump your brakes. Go
ahead, Rye.
Well, I just have something from Mike Garafolo saying, I've said here and elsewhere recently a lot that Doug Peterson's job isn't in jeopardy. I can't say that with any confidence anymore. Jeffrey Lurie isn't happy at all, and performances like tonight will have him seriously assessing this coach's status.
Facts. I mean, facts. Like,
as it should.
As it should. Until tonight, I didn't think his job was in jeopardy either. This is all stuff we talked about. Like, it's the first time we're all like, you know what? Yeah, he can go. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, enough's enough. Enough is enough. How he's drafted my community college water boy in the first round, Travis Johnson says. Yep. You're
and Tommy, you even said it too. Early on in the show. If these guys actually came and played tonight and actually, showed some heart, maybe we'd be saying some different things. But when your franchise quarterback in the third quarter with 3 minutes left to go has 96 yards passing, 96 yards passing, outrageous.
Against the 32nd ranked defense.
Ridiculous.
And ridiculous. This is the 1990s. This is 2020 where it's a passing league. It's a joke. It's a joke, Ralph.
And I totally understand where you're down in the game and you don't want to run the ball. You throw and get some points, right? But to give Miles Sanders 6 rushes the whole entire game, I mean, that's ridiculous too, man. That's outrageous.
No, that's terrible too. But we ran the
ball.
And
then continue to run play action. Oh yeah, because the play action is going to fool everybody. Because you run Miles 6 times, it's going to fool everybody, Doug. You are the genius, Doug, but I'm just a fat guy that sits on my couch and watches the games. It is what it is.
You're not on your couch. You're on your. It's a chair, Ralph.
Same thing. I was downstairs watching the game.
Eagle City. If you have any water in your glass, you're just bleeding too much green, baby. Right? Like, there's no water in the grass. After 11 games, yes. After what I've watched, overreacting. I've never overreacted with the Eagles.
This is Howie's burner. I think this is Howie's burner account right now.
If you think this is okay, if you think what you're watching is okay, and the way this roster has gone, and you're not thinking about firing people, man, are you Homer City. I mean, people joke around me about pom-poms. I weigh pom-poms.
I retract.
It's not even your statement. It's Spillman's. So, you know what I mean? You don't got to worry about it. You're not in the crosshairs right now. I look at Sean when I say that.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, like, if you have them on right now, you're delusional. Like, there's a point in time in the season where you want to keep them on, because you love football and you want to believe, and there's nothing else to watch sports-wise outside of college, right? You want to believe. So, you believe as long as you can, and there comes a point of time where that glass doesn't have any water in it, all right? And we're now at that point where we need to now make moves, look at our future, look how we can rebuild a roster fast, look at who's out there that we can consider coming in, Louis Riddick, whoever a head coach, whatever. Why are we scared to start over ever? Why are we scared I'll say it again, that somebody else isn't out there that can do a better job? What happens if we find that smart guy who can coach 10 years at this league? Who knows?
I love the overreaction talk, right? Like, oh, we're overreacted. We all knew that this year was it. Again, you're $63 million over the cap. If you don't think next year is going to be abysmal, then you obviously aren't understanding what's going on right now.
Exactly, Greg. You're either all in or you're all out.
Well,
you can't be 50-50 with that cap that you're going to have next year.
Ralphie, what shirt are you wearing? You know what I mean? Like when we talk about half in. You know what I mean?
Dude, I know. You know what? I just threw it on because I threw it on. And I realized later today when I was eating dinner, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I got another shitty organization on my chest right now. So, it goes hand to hand. You wear one and you watch one. So it is what it is.
No, you're right. You're right. I like it, man. Represent. Jay says we have the worst offense in football. That's factual. Morris Longo, what's up, brother? Said exactly. They are delusional. This team is bad. Yeah, and bad's being nice, right? K Money. Every team has a better future than us. And
it seems like it. It seems like it, man.
That can't be any more facts.
This is why we got the smartest people that tune into A2D, because everybody spits facts. Jesse says, all I'm saying is I want no Pac-12, Big 12 trash-ass scrubs. Facts, right? This might be facts, too. The guy in the left corner looks like Doug without a beard. I don't know if he probably means Jake or Ryan. I don't know, but we'll say facts again.
I guess me.
Oh.
Don, joking around. Breaking news. The Philadelphia Eagles are interested in Adam Gase. I'll go root for Eddie. All right, Travis Johnson.
Hey, you be careful. Your Lions need a head coach.
Yeah.
Man, these comments are flying.
They might take Doug.
They might take Doug.
The Lions might take Doug.
Don said he didn't want him. You know that's bad when a Detroit Lions fan says he doesn't want him.
Yeah.
You know that's bad.
Travis Johnson says preschools could probably coach better than Doug, or preschool coaches, probably. Walter says only thing that will make this worse would be if we actually go to the playoffs. Yeah. Yeah, we don't want that now. Marquise Graham, I don't have confidence that this defense will play well like they did against the Seahawks game consistently. So I would rather Howie Roseman get fired, specifically after talking DK Metcalf.
Yeah, man. What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think Jim Short should get fired.
Let's just go up to their best receiver. He's
lost his freaking mind.
Just say, dude, what are we doing, dude? Knowing your secondary is ass outside of Slay, right? So we're just going to go up and say, hey, you're not Megatron yet. And then you know what he does? 177 yards on your defense. So, I mean, it is. I mean, you got what you made the bed, and now you're laying in it, brother.
That's like the worst judgment call ever. Like, I don't care how they played on the actual field. You said that. There's no way you can have good judgment.
Is that Abel? Abel says Howie needs to at least get fired first. Yeah, I mean, it starts there. Malachi says, love the Eagles. Well, what the hell is happening to them? We don't know.
2020.
We're trying to make sense of it too, brother.
It's like that train that goes off the tracks and you didn't expect it this year. Bradley Cap says, and that's Cap's Corner here on A2D every Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eagles simulation.
Is that a softball photo right there?
Yeah, he's right in your wheelhouse, Greg.
I see you.
Yep.
I see you.
Wheelhouse, but says, I don't know what thinks more Tom Saturday Eagles. Nah, I mean, it probably might happen. I don't know. Tough call.
That simulation the other night was way more entertaining than the game. I'll tell you that much.
Yep. James Jackson. Breaking news: the Eagles are letting teams know that Jalen Reagor is untouchable, along with Jay Shaw and their centerpiece in the future. Yeah, I'm sure that's.
You know what really kind of blows my mind right now, like especially with Jalen Reagor, right? Is the unwillingness to go get the football.
Yeah.
Right. It's one thing.
You did that well, Greg. Too.
It's one thing to be all right. Carson's terrible, right? Carson's missing throws, but that missed pass interference call in the first quarter was a lot to do with you didn't come back to get the football. right? And then that throw in the end zone, you stopped running and just expected it to be in your hands. When are you going to go get a football? And that's not just Jalen, right? But it was almost magnified tonight of go get the football. All of our wide receivers, even that first one that got underthrown, again, probably should have been a pass interference. But when you don't come back for the football, what do you want the ref to do? Bail you out?
Yeah.
I got you, TTP. A2D on all social media platforms. Give me 20 minutes. Says somebody make an Eagles Nate Robinson meme. Give me 20 minutes, TTP. Maybe 15. 15 tops for you. No, you're right, though. And to your point, Greg, again, doesn't show willingness to go up for the football or try to break a tackle. Well, I guess he can't break a tackle because he's so small. He's a little gadget. But he shows willingness to, trash the fan base whenever he can on Twitter, right?
And
Plenty of willingness there.
The heat gets a little too hot, and he just deletes his account.
I mean, we don't ask a lot, right? We ask for our players to play hard and act like they give a shit.
And catch the damn football. Yeah.
And so part of playing hard is making adjustments and making an effort to play the game that you were picked to play.
Yeah.
So please go get a football one time.
And
win a 50-50 ball. Like, do something.
Yeah, and it's another thing too, Greg. I'm gonna piggyback off of what you're saying. When you as a fan, right, you're told that this guy's gonna come in and change the wide receiver room and he's gonna be the future, but then he's not really panning up to be. And then you sit here every Sunday and you're watching guys like Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson making ridiculous catches every single week and just scoring touchdowns by the millions, it seems like, because Rieger hasn't done anything yet. That's where, some of the fan base is fed up with it, because it's like you see all these other guys making plays, but then the guy that's wearing your uniform is not really making any plays.
Nope, you're spot on. Let's see.
0 plays.
JV.
0
what?
Has not made a play this year. 0.
This is a tweet from CBS Sports headquarters. Looking back at the 2019 NFL Draft, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside's career, 12 receptions, 214 yards. DK Metcalf tonight, 10 receptions, 177 yards.
All right.
Send me that. Thank you.
Not again, it has no impact. But was J.J. even dressed tonight?
I don't know. No, I don't think. No, was he on the active list? Was he active?
He was active. I know that.
He was inactive last week. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
So if he was active, he was dressed. JV asked, do you move on from Wentz or Peterson first? Do you try to salvage either or ship them both off? Well, I would say probably you hang on to the quarterback just because of the contract.
Just because of the cap hit, yeah.
But be careful, guys. We keep saying that we're gonna be apologists, and we're gonna keep saying that Carson's good, even though we spent the first hour 45 minutes stating that he's been bad.
Forget the first hour and 40 minutes. We've spent the last 9 weeks saying it.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
he was
getting
active
to the point.
tonight.
It's getting to the point of what more can we say about this team? I mean, it's the same shit over and over and over again, man. Over and over and over.
Yep.
Let's see. Malachi saying, you wonder why the Eagles fans hate the Cowboys. They messed us up by drafting CeeDee Lamb. No, see, I don't even think that, because we could have drafted another guy who could play. Jefferson was there.
You could have drafted 7 guys that could play.
Yeah.
Claypool, Ayuk.
I'm not even going to the wide receiver position. You could have went any position.
Oh, yeah. True.
I mean, Patrick Queen at 21 I was
Kenneth
told
Murray.
guy that
Guys, I'm going to get hate for saying this. I would have taken Jordan Love the more I look at it.
Yeah.
Because if we were going quarterback, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my God. Could you imagine at 21 we taking Jordan Love? I would have been lost for words, speechless.
Oh, I would have broke the computer.
I don't know, Ralph. I mean, it all seems, it's apples and oranges, right? It's just as egregious as taking Jalen Hurts in the second round, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. There's not much of a difference at that point.
DJ's World says, in all fairness, Rager was injured, still trash, but he wasn't at his full stinkiness level.
Yeah, but he's been back for 4 weeks, so I agree with you early on, and we reserve judgment until tonight.
He's had time to acclimate.
And I'm out because you've had 4 weeks to acclimate, and you still made 0 plays.
Yep. When it's being touted as the best wide receiver draft in a long time, and all of his colleagues, all of his peers that were also drafted, most of them after him, by the way. That's a funny thing. I don't even talk about I'm done talking about the Jerry Judys and the Ruggs and the Lambs because yes, are all 3 of those way better than Rager right now? Yeah, but they were taken before him. You know what I'm saying? So that's a moot point now. I more go to the friggin' Laviska Chenaults and the Claypools and the Jeffersons and the Ayuks and all those guys. And the Michael Pittmans, which people try telling me he can't play.
Yeah, right. Michael Pittman can't play.
He's
going in Indianapolis.
Or Chase Claypool because he's not a receiver or a tight end. No, it's okay. It's okay to be both, actually, because we don't have.
You want to know something funny, right? I was told by someone who studies film very closely that he stinks coming out of the draft. He stinks.
That's very interesting.
We drafted 3 wide receivers in the draft.
I think I was told the same thing, Jay.
And we missed on all 3 of them.
Yeah.
But
Hightower
we definitely missed on
tonight.
2.
Don't forget about
the same thing too. I think he was on the show.
Right? Hightower had 2 catches tonight. Did he not? One or 2?
For 4 yards?
One for a loss of yards and the other for I don't know. I must have missed that.
Another bubble screen to Hightower.
Probably. Who knows?
Doug loves them bubble screens, man.
Oh, yeah, Van Jefferson.
Jefferson. Yep, there's another one.
I wanted Van Jefferson.
Yep. Ryan's boy, Devin Duvernay from Baltimore.
Yep, Tony couldn't play. He's only a speed guy. Oh, well, at least you guys have speed. Because our speed guy isn't. Well, I haven't seen him run fast.
It took Alshon 3 days to get open.
Yep.
That might have been the comment of the night from Reddick.
Yeah. All right, listen. Our speed guy doesn't even finish running and can't return kicks or punts. So hey, at least their speed guy is at least speedy.
Yep.
Mike McFly, Justin Jefferson looks like effing Chris Carter. Yeah.
Yep.
Like a first round pick, I'll give you that. Lynn, I'm just gonna call you Lil. Why would you go for it on 4th and 4? Because Doug says he wanted to be aggressive. Even though if you would have kicked the field goal, we would have been within a possession of tying the game. But listen, he played in the NFL. I didn't, so why should I have an opinion on it, right, Greg? You know what I'm saying? Doug played in the NFL.
4th and 4 play, Carson. We weren't on the same page. That's on me. Got to make sure we're on the same page. Thought it was good. He's our guy. And we've got to be on the same page.
Dude,
how are you not on the same page with a guy who's been in the system?
What week are we in? 12? 13? What week are we in? 12?
I don't even care which week. Goddard's been here for 4 years.
That bullshit that we're not on the same page, dude. You're 80% into the season already.
Yeah.
What do you mean you're not on the same page or have to be on the same page?
Need. Where do we start?
Tommy's channel. Biggest offseason need, a new GM.
Where do we start?
We're $63 million over in cap, so I don't think offensive need is going to matter.
No,
because your need is going to be getting out from the cap hell.
That's a great question, DJ. And I know DJ's World's a Cowboys fan. He says, "Which coaching staff are you guys taking? Philly or Dallas?" That's actually really a great question because I think they both suck.
I would have to say the Eagles, and not because of Doug. It's because of Mike McCarthy is an atrocity of a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
That alone, I don't.
At least Doug has the track record of resiliency. McCarthy doesn't.
You don't like the fake punt on your own 20? No.
I like it as an Eagles fan, Ralphie.
A lot of confidence in your offense there.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, we're going to run with the punter instead.
Yeah.
Do you agree, Tom? Taking the
I just can never pick the Cowboys.
No.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Do I agree with what?
But they do score points. We don't.
DJ's World asked, whose coaching staff are you taking right now, Phillies or Dallas's?
Probably Philly, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like two trains off the track. Which one is busted up? You know what I mean? I don't know. They might have more talent on the football field right now, and they still stink. So,
Absolutely,
they're somehow worse. Oh yeah, that's right, Marquise. I forgot T. Higgins. We were told he can't play. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of scouts, a lot of videographers told us that he couldn't play too. Yeah, so I mean that's all. Guy won another national championship cat at Clemson. Another baller, another winner. Another guy who played actual competition. You know, it's a freaking joke. It's a freaking
mossed us in week 3. Freaking mossed us.
Yeah, but he couldn't play, and then everybody made excuses. Like, people make excuses of me last, like with Jefferson. Like, oh, you watch what he does without Thielen. Okay, 2 touchdowns.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, Rasul quit on the first play. What are we talking about, dude? We don't have anybody who can get in the end zone, and we're talking about other teams quitting and guys getting in the end zone. He didn't quit on the play either. All right, he got his ass burnt. All right, he got toasted. So, I mean, and he didn't do anything until so-and-so got there. Yeah, at LSU and Barrow. Okay, bro.
People didn't say that, did they? Did people say that?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, 100 catches, 100 catches. I don't care. Yes. He had to wait for freaking, the goat to come in. You know what I mean? Like 100 catches, 100 catches. That translates places. Like you didn't have 100 catches in the Pac-12. You didn't have 100 catches in the Big 12. You had 100 catches in the best conference in college football.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You had big games against the best defenses in college football: Alabama, Georgia. Right? You know what I mean? Like it's a freaking crock of shit that you go for a gadget. And then, there was people who, there were some kittens who you could say were excited over Jalen Reagor.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
My hands are here. I didn't do it this time. My hands are here.
You know what I mean? You can make the argument. It's not going well, so we'll leave that up.
Yeah, it's fine. No, it's the StreamYard's telling us it's fine.
That's what happens when you draft Jalen Reagor. Some people are in for gadgets, other people are in for playmakers. You know what I mean? Like I want to impact guys immediately. Like I'm not in drafts to say I'll wait 3 years for a guy to develop.
This isn't baseball.
Yeah, like no. Like at this point in college football, guys come in and play right away. Guys are grown and they translate well if they can play.
And that's what the later rounds are. That's what the later rounds are for. Those guys that are project guys, but guys you're taking in the first round, the second round, the third round are guys that you at this point now you can expect to step on the field and contribute. The guys, the first and second round.
Your third round linebacker shouldn't be a project.
Agreed.
Oh, but Greg,
tell me great things about him though. Like he's a great kid. And
hey, I like this pick. He lacks experience, and he's like the 9th best guy on the board. But hey, I like it.
Yep.
I think the one guy did say the linebacker played well, and I do think they did. Yeah. But again, there's no impact there. You know what I mean? No. Like, there's no guy that you're like, sweet, we could build around this guy.
Yeah.
Guys who are like, oh, we got cut. All right, cool. The next guy up, like. They did play well. The whole defense played decent tonight. But again, when you aren't able to score any points, it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad that I feel like you're most consistent, and I say that very lightly and tread lightly in saying that your most consistent linebacker is a guy that you plucked out of Calgary from the CFL.
Yeah, right.
Joseph, we could have had DK and Jefferson and Chin. That's just factual, right? We could have had Chin in the second. We could have had Jefferson this year and DK that year. Oh, and that certain running back from the Saints, for whom should not be named, but we took a guy who can't even make it in the XFL. Pumphrey, I'm talking about, by the way.
Yeah,
No, I know you guys.
Our whole roster can't make it in the XFL right now.
Fair. That's fair.
Ryan, see, this is where I can't totally buy into this. Okay. Ryan Swoop says people are blaming Carson way too much. The offensive line, no question, hands down is the blame the most. It's so abysmal. Bad. Wentz can only do so much. He needs protection. He has been bad though. It's because of the horrific offensive line. And listen, I completely agree with you, right? That contributes, okay? That contributes to poor play, okay? Totally on board with that. All right. But I just, he doesn't look good, Rye. He doesn't look good. And it's not just 1 week. It's every week.
Mm-hmm.
It's every week.
It's getting worse.
I'm paying him $100 million to help make up for my flaws, right? To help make up for some of my flaws. Has he made up for any flaws this year? Last year he did.
Last year he did, because last year he didn't have weapons either or an offensive line. You know what I mean? And we made the playoffs last year, right? And so you can't say, "Oh my God, he's great last year." And, you know what I mean? Like, and I think we've all been pretty consistent with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where we're like, hey, we're gonna give him credit last year, then we got to kill him this year because he's arguably playing with better than he had last year. He's playing with better. No, he's not playing better. He's playing with better.
This is interesting. NBC Sports Philadelphia is running a poll. Is Doug Peterson's job in jeopardy? Right now, 67% are saying no, which is very interesting in the city of Philadelphia, right?
Yeah.
70% right now say no. 70, 65, but still 70 again. You know what I mean? Like, I'll let you know when it ends. But at the end of the day, that's weird to me because most people will call for jobs quick. Go ahead, Greg.
So I just wonder if they flipped that to Howie, what that percentage would be.
I think it would be the other. You'd flip flop it the other way around.
Run a poll on Twitter, right?
I got it.
You know, go run a poll on Twitter. Who should get fired first, Doug or Howie? You know, and see what people say. I mean, I think it'd be Howie, because Eric Walters says it too. I mean, everybody sees it, guys. That's why we're the best fan base and we're the goats at this shit, because it's common sense. If you don't draft well, it's going to be hard to coach. You know what I mean? It's hard to coach. Did Belichick forget how to coach, or did he lose like 100 defensive players this year? You know what I mean? So it's like they're still tough. Now, we're not tough at all, but
no, we're not tough. That's the pathetic thing about it.
But I think it's hard. Greg, don't you think it's hard to get untalented guys to play at a higher level all the time?
No, it is. It's completely hard. You know what I mean? And like you said, I'm the biggest Doug hater on this panel in this group. But even you can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit. You know what I mean? And I will give him that pass. But there's still no excuse for the the undisciplined play that we see week after week. You know what I mean? Like there's no excuse for that. However, I completely understand and get that you can only get so much out of guys that suck.
Who can't play.
Who can't play.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead, Carl.
I was just gonna, to piggyback off of that, it's one thing if I'm watching this team week in and week out and they have injuries and they're not, they don't have the right personnel per se, but I'm seeing guys who are putting the effort out there. At least if I have an effort.
That's what I was saying earlier. We don't ask much as fan base.
And they show me something. Right. I mean, listen, this city over the years has had teams that have lost, but they still have loved those teams for the effort that they put out there. And the fact that not only does, and we talked about it, you see Doug in his presser, he looks absolutely defeated. He looks like he hasn't slept in 2 months, and he looks like he's not even interested in being there at this point. And then you see the play on the field, just the very foolish mistakes that these guys are making, the simple mistakes that these guys are making. That does come down to coaching, and it comes down to the effort on the players. And I can't accept that as a fan. I can't accept it. And for any of these guys who especially are carryovers from the Super Bowl year, because everyone falls in love with those guys, guess what? I expect just as much from you because I've seen you put that effort out before. I've seen your max effort. And the fact that I'm not getting that from just about anybody outside of the Brandon Graham is a fucking problem for me. And Fletcher for, a couple points this year I was sketchy, but he's been pretty good for most of the year. Outside of those guys, the fact that we're seeing this piss poor effort every week is frustrating, and it's unacceptable.
No, I mean, what else can you say about it? We expected so much more. We expected a more talented roster than it is. And we're seeing this. I mean, guys are saying, like, wide receivers, their comeback routes are atrocious. Like, the routes you watch on the overhead all look bad. There's no separation. So, again, it's not all on Carson because I don't think he has anybody to throw to. Like, I honestly don't think anybody's open. I think it's that bad. But, again, when guys are open, he misses. So,
yeah.
We talked about that one read. If he looks to the left side of the field, he's got two two favorable matchups.
Chrome, he's regressed as a quarterback where he's almost a one-read guy and then panics, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like I can't have that. So as much as I love him, I can't have the regression there, and that's what's scary.
You can have all the talent in the world. You can have all the talent in the world, but you still have to be able to put it together on the football field. You know, you could play like Jordan anywhere else, but when you get on the field and you're playing like Larry Hughes, Greg, that's a fucking problem. That's a problem.
You know, and I said it during the Cincy game, and I hoped at that point, you know, looking back on it, it was a precursor as to what coming. You know, if you blindfolded everybody, Joe Burrow looked like the 5-year vet versus Carson looked like the rookie in that game. And because of how much he has regressed, and again, maybe it was just like, all right, 1 week, right? We're not going to be, you know, up in arms 1 week. And then it continued to continue because he's regressed. I mean, there's not a lot of overhead shots where we have wide receivers or just pass catchers streaking down the field wide open. But there was a couple tonight, and the ball's he's either being sacked because he didn't see it, or the ball's going in a completely different direction to a guy who's completely covered, and it's getting old.
And Greg, the one thing you mentioned earlier reminded me of something. You know, we saw it coming after the bye. Remember when I think this entire organization, especially the city, we were hopeful coming out of the bye because we were like, okay, well, you know, we're kind of on, we have a little bit of momentum. We have an easier schedule and we have guys coming back, right? And we were like, oh, well, if the offense is clicking with nobodies, you know, the offense is going to click with talent. The most alarming thing is that this quarterback and this overall offense, and I think Doug Peterson, has gotten worse with the more talent that's come back. You know what I'm saying? It's like going back to last year, the final 4 games when there was nobody on the offense that could even, you know, that should even sniff an NFL roster. It's like, okay, well, you have nobodies on the field, but the offense is smooth and it's clicking and they're allowing Carson to be Carson. But then when you bring talent back, it's like, okay, we're instead of building off of that, saying, hey, we're going to do the same thing, but just with talent, we're going to then do the exact opposite. That's what doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I don't know if the talent's any good.
Fair too.
You know, so like any of it, like, and I believe Carson changes so much at the line that it messes with a fresh offensive line. It messes with guys not knowing really what routes to run. To me, the whole thing's a mess. You know what I mean? Like, you're changing plays, you're getting yourself into what you think, and then you're missing on opportunities. So, I mean, I can't say anything about you, like anything about you good. Like, you know, we talk about the run game. Well, how much is the run game of Carson throwing the football? You know what I mean? Like, we don't know that, you know? So, like, I don't know if he's seeing stuff properly anymore.
Right.
And I think it starts there. And then you grade him out from there. And, yeah, up the middle, pressure's been so bad, you know, and it's killed him because if you can't step up in the pocket, you're screwed.
Yeah.
And the only time
that he has had weeks where he has that protection and he hasn't looked good. So, I mean, it goes both ways. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
What was the point in signing Jordan Howard, by the way?
Just to be cute.
Just to say, hey fans, we're being proactive. That's all that is. It's a nothing sign.
That's what Howie does.
And then give Corey Coleman a carry tonight. Like, that's cute.
Yeah, and fam at home, like, I just want to make things very clear. I'm not saying that we have good talent here. Like, I'm not saying Alshon's Alshon or Zach Ertz is Zach Ertz or Rager's Rager, Deshaun's Deshaun. But I'm saying this is the talent that this team has been saying, hey, this – like, the excuses go away to where, oh, well, we can't run the offense the way it should because our talent isn't here. Well, that excuse goes away then once your talent comes back.
Because that's what starts coming back. Absolutely.
Yes, that's my only point. I'm not saying that I think the talent should all of a sudden change. It's what the overall scheme and what the game plan of the offseason went towards. It was to have Rager and Alshon and Zach Ertz and Deshaun here. But when those guys see the field, the guys that the offense is built for, it goes the opposite way.
Yeah,
that's my point.
I'm with you, Chrome. I can't cross 3 of those guys on that list.
No, that was a terrible list right there. That was a terrible list. Especially if you, but just the fact that Kelsey's name on there alone discredits it. Mine taking out even the other names, but
wasting money.
Yeah, that was not a good take.
This?
Not a good take at all. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Peters, you want to say Peters and Hargraves? Absolutely. The other ones, no. I mean, Lane, not the best year he's had, but
He's been hurt. Yeah,
He's been hurt, and it hasn't been,
And he tried to fight through that, and that's where I'll give Lane. Again, you almost wish he wouldn't have, but that's where I'll give him credit. He's not wasting money. He tried to play.
Yeah, but that's still wasting money because it's another injured guy. So it's wasting money. I mean, the best availability is availability, and he's not available. Peter stinks, right? Hargrave hasn't been any good. There's some of that list. You're right. Kelsey, though, no. I mean, I don't think he's wasting money. And
Fletcher, no.
And I crush Fletcher, but I don't think he's wasting money. I mean, there's so many other issues, Jesse. I don't think it's all them.
I agree, Tristan.
And my other thing about the Jordan Howard point is Jordan Howard is one of the best pass blocking running backs. And he may have lost a step in the running game, but he could still pass block. He's always been one of the best pass blocking running backs in the game.
Did you hear what they said? Chrome?
What's that?
They were like, "Oh yeah, he picked up everything really well. He's ready to go." Okay, cool story.
Well, if you're having
he was just here.
If you're having an issue at level 1 of stopping the pass rush and Carson's getting taken down, why don't you have that? I talk about the second level blocking all the time. You need that. You watch fucking Boston Scott absolutely get blown by tonight for misreading where he needed to be to block Carson's blind side.
Dude,
why is Jordan Howard not there?
I can't believe somebody said that.
You guys like Sproles better? You know what I mean? Like, it's just a joke. It's a joke. This whole roster.
Yeah, he really picked up the playbook so fast. I couldn't believe it. No shit, dumbass. He was here last year.
And we know the offense hasn't changed because we watched it for 2 years.
Yep. I can't.
Tristan, 2017 did go in their heads, by the way. That's why we're here. Because everybody from this coach to this GM to this owner thought, hey, we're the smartest people in football. We're going to do things our way instead of the smart way.
Alvin Coletta, shout out from the Philippines. What's up, bro?
What up, Alvin? Thanks,
Alvin?
brother. I wish we would have drafted Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I had another one. Ryan Shackelford says, I hope I'm wrong, but Reagor is showing me number 3 wide receiver vibes. He has to learn how to create separation. Yep. I mean, it's
Gadget.
Yep. Gadget. Yep. Getting cute in the first round again. Getting cute. Boys, anybody got anything really else to get off their chest? I mean,
nope. I've said it all, and this team should not be talked about for the rest of the year. That's just how I am personally.
We got a lot of shows. We got a lot of shows every night on A2D, so it's not like we're not going to be back this week, but we're going to be talking about something different, man. We're going to be
we're not.
We're not. Sixers on Wednesday and Sixers in 23 days. That's all I can say.
Yeah, Crump's not on Thursday night, but everybody else is. I'm done with it. I don't support slop. I don't make excuses for slop.
No heart tonight. No heart tonight.
Later, Joseph. No heart tonight. And listen, offense isn't even a heart thing. Offense becomes an execution thing. I mean, it was a train wreck out there.
Yep.
I thought I was watching what happens like when that when that bad college team plays one of the big boys and they just can't move the ball and the quarterback looks like shit. That's how that felt tonight. You know what I mean? Where you're playing like the big boy game 1, you're playing an SEC boy and you just can't move the ball. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how it felt like. And when you feel that overmatched on the offensive side of the ball and your head coach is an offensive guy and your quarterback's been here 5 years and you can't fix the same problems that have been happening all year, I mean, that's bad news for anybody, guys. That's bad news for anything, any organization, any team, anywhere. And that's when you start cleaning the fucking house out. All right. Love you, Mark. Yep, we'll see your cousin tomorrow night. Me, Chrome, Tor, Ariana, and Lindsay. A2D after dark. So we'll be rocking it out. Marlon Humphrey was shit talking, saying about Wentz. Good. Everybody should. You know what I mean? There's no protecting here, babe.
Their kicker could start talking trash, and I would be okay with it. Like, it's fine.
The kid from the Broncos could talk trash. Their starting quarterback.
Oh yeah, the quarterback.
He had more yards.
It felt like in the first half.
If Howie's still here in a couple months, he'll probably sign him as a practice squad guy for the freaking factory.
Malachi says, "Shout out from the best city, Philly, all day, every day." You know it, brother. Sam Hurley says, "I can't wait for Steve Levy to verbally assault me next Monday." I don't even know.
What?
McNabb was never this bad, Rome. You're right. McNabb. We shit on him, and I didn't personally, but like the fan base did, and that guy was a great quarterback.
It's because of what you said a couple times, not just tonight, but before, is McNabb made up for mistakes, right? You know, his offensive line was elite, but his receivers were trash. But he made up for that because that's what franchise guys do. And right now, Carson's not doing that.
Does anyone see what's on this? Is anyone watching the same channel? I don't want to name the channel, but right after the post-game show.
This nerd.
Yeah, friggin'. I mean, this guy's.
Oh, he's living his dream right now. You know, he's so excited that Carson stinks right now. And listen, I'm not saying Carson's career's over. I don't know, right? I don't have a crystal at this point, right? There's no crystal ball talk. But, you know, I'm looking forward to the Sixers. I'm looking forward to the Flyers. I'm not looking forward to the Phillies or pieces of shit. I'm looking forward to talking to you guys who all chimed in tonight. And yeah, first off, heavy. It nothing to do with race, brother. And everybody's saying Wentz isn't the guy right now. So I don't know what else you want people to say. You know what I mean? Like we've shitted on everybody in this organization tonight. And we drafted gadget players in the first round. And listen, I love you guys for chiming in. Listen, we're the best. We're the best in the business here. Shows every night, from niche shows to wrestling. We got our own hockey show, obviously, the Hockey Happy Hour. You know, we have a little HUD after dark with the ladies, right? We have Madden simulation Saturdays. Right? We got soccer. We got MMA. I mean, what don't we have? What don't we have? We have Birds of a Feather, all football. I mean, come on, babe. You know what I mean? Come on. We had the Hounds on before. They did a great job too. Love you too, Tristan.
Thanks, Tris.
And Eric's a big Union guy. I respect the hell out of Eric. Sixers Flyers Union, yeah, brother. So can the Union. You know me, dude. I just can't get into it. It's just not my thing. And I support whatever anybody likes sports wise. Like I'll joke around about like, oh, soccer sucks because I don't like it. I played it. I didn't enjoy it, but it doesn't mean that I don't like respect people who love it. Like love what you love. I wish I loved it. And I watched all the international shit and all that fun stuff. I just don't like it.
I like the World Cup. I really do get into watching the World Cup, but aside from that, I don't really get too crazy with it.
And the World Cup's hard because the men stink. So you know, like the women's cool. Like the women's
great.
Listen, everybody chimed in. You know, all you guys. I can read off all your names. I tried to get to so many of you guys. I know. Rye did when I wasn't on. You know, I was on with the Hounds earlier, so I mean, I'm not freaking marathoning. I mean, I got a show tomorrow.
Thanks, DJs World. Appreciate you, man.
And fam, I'll just throw this out there too. This Friday, because I know you guys did a great job of voicing your frustrations, giving opinions. This Friday, every Friday, you can call in. You can be a part. You can voice your frustrations on the show for a little while.
Look at Joe, my man. I'm calling in. Fan Friday to discuss New Zealand cricket. Call in, baby.
Frank will be very excited to hear that, Joe.
Break it down. Listen, Fan Friday's so much fun. You know, you send your email or you just DM us in any HUD inbox, and we just send you the link. And you hop on in. Just make sure you guys have some Wi-Fi. You know, Rome had his computer in his car according to Marquis. That's what Marquis said about Rome.
Best car Wi-Fi I've ever seen, though. I mean, that was clean.
Rome was clean.
Listen, you saw DJ, right? DJ's a Cowboys fan showing us love here on an Eagles show. So
listen, we show Cowboys love too. With the real fans, real Cowboys fans, we show love to. We got one here. You know, Poe's a Cowboys fan, but we show love to the real ones. Malachi, Tommy, I think you should be the next head coach for the Eagles. Fuck head coach, Malachi. Put me up in the GM role. Let me do the grocery shopping, and let's see how fast we swing this bad boy around. Because I don't miss, and I'm not being cocky. I just don't miss.
Tell them about your defensive line. Tell them about the DM.
Honestly, Tom, I don't even need you for that. You could literally just get in there on draft night and just do the draft picks, and I feel like you'd be an organizational changer.
Styles Washington, what's up, my man? He said, you guys do boxing? Yes. We're adding, first off, on the weekly roundup every Saturday, Steve brings on UFC guys, boxing people, everybody, right? And they also talk Philly sports, but we're going to be adding an all-combat sports show. That's not only going to be, you know, stuff of bare-knuckle boxing, right? I'm sure you know about Styles. And then, obviously, my man Travis does a lot of boxing coverage and UFC coverage. So it'll be a combo. Trying to get everything for the people here, man. Travis has been doing it a long time. I'm excited to bring him on board here. Just a really good dude, and he's going to rock a show every Saturday at 2 p.m. So you're going to get back-to-back, your fighting coverage from Travis and Steve, and then Steve and Zach following them. So I mean, listen, baby, we're backing them all up. I mean, we're back-to-back. We're back-to-back. Listen, Styles, we just sealed the deal for you. Like, subscribe, follow. Let's go. Turn your alerts on, family.
Styles, who you got? Errol Spence or Danny Garcia this weekend? Who you got?
Rome says, I'll be on the laptop Friday. Rome steaks.
Joseph's taking shots.
What are you doing, Joe? What are you doing? Here's a preview. Brinkman 15. Jesus, God. Let's do a personality rankings. I love Rob. Come on, Joe. I love Rob. Tristan said he's definitely calling in.
Love it. Don said it earlier, too. He's got to just figure out how to use his phone. I feel bad. Don tried calling like 9 times. He just couldn't.
Yeah, I'm trying. Don is on every show. I want to see what this freaking guy looks like, Don.
Oh, God.
You know who stole the show? Jay stole the show by crushing Brinks, but Yusuf really stole the show because he talked so silent, but he was killed us with his whispers. Like, I mean, Yusuf shot us. I mean, listen, I thought I was in World War. I thought I was in a World War because, I mean, he talked so softly that he just assaulted me, though. Like, with his Washington love. Like, I got assaulted verbally, but so quietly. It was the weirdest thing in my life, and I love Yusuf. But he did a great job of puffing his chest out.
He did it in a way where it was like a puff chest, but like an ASMR puff chest. Like a real soft whisper. You know what I'm saying? Like Yusuf might end up having a show where it's just the ASMR soft sports talk, where it's just him talking sports talk. I just think the Washington, I just think it's going to be him talking sports, but whispering.
I want him to. So,
and Styles, I do agree. Maybe not. I don't know if I have 8 rounds, but I do think Spence gets the W on Saturday.
Dude,
be a good fight.
I couldn't tell on Friday night if Yusuf was talking sports or if he was like DJing and leading us into those like slow jams or like presenting those CD collections late night with the dial in and call the 900 number. He was so soft, but he said a lot. He spoke fucking loud for such a soft tone and voice.
Come on, nerdy. The people don't understand, brother. I can talk for 5 hours a day. I take my own breaks. You know what I mean? They're considered my commercial breaks.
That's where you see the screen go off. He takes a couple minutes to himself, collects.
Sometimes more because, again, if there's a lot of people on, I want guys to go ahead and chat it up themselves too. You know what I mean? I don't need to always be on. So you take little breaks. But I could do this freaking all day. You can give me 10-hour time slots. Like, hey, Tom, 10 hours today, babe. You got to put the work in. You know what I mean? Let's go to work. Let's have some fun. So,
I got into this for a reason, ladies and gentlemen.
The other guys on here besides Ralphie, love jumping on. Love chatting up as much as possible.
Oh, my God.
I'm not doing this. It's 1:15 in the morning. I'm not waking up my house. I'm not doing it.
1:10,
I'm not
babe.
getting baited in.
Get 1:10, babe. Get the clocks fixed. You know what I'm saying? Clock fix one time. Listen, guys, we can't thank you all enough for jumping in with us. Listen, you want to get involved in the A2D merch game? We're giving 25% off. PhillyDrinkers.com. All right, you can go there, find the A2D store inside the website, and boom, 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 25% off. We got tons of shit from hats, shirt. Chrome's wearing a shirt. I'm wearing a hat. Greg's probably got a tumbler. So we got everything for you. Everything for you. We got t-shirts, different Philly things, QB Factory stuff, funny shit. We go funny shit. Everybody else tries to make t-shirts that are cute. Also, all
that age well.
Yes, it ages extremely well. AllCampusOC.com, discount code A2D for 15% off. It's AllCampusOC.com for all your team apparel hats. So every hat of a team you're a fan of, John Coyle, AllCampusOC.com, discount code A2D, 15% off. And every show we're brought to by our doc, make them yours. That's Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy LLC, Burlington and Cherry Hill locations. Stay tuned, fam, because hopefully we are going to be doing gambling shows and betting shows coming to A2D, hopefully from one of the casinos in AC. So stay tuned. We're
working in Jersey for that.
We're working on it, and that's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to make you a lot of money, and you guys can come down, hang out with us, throw some fazools around. We're going to do it even through Sixers Sixers season, Philly season. So we plan on doing it all year round, even though, we don't know what our teams are going to be. God, listen, if God's listening before we wrap this up, I'm begging you for the Sixers to be good. All right? I'm begging you for the Sixers to be good. Okay? That's all. That's all. I don't ask for a lot. Malachi, appreciate it, my man. Tell everybody. Carter Hart. Malachi said, I'm about to tell all my friends about you guys because you're the best. Listen.
Thanks, Malachi. I appreciate it,
Thanks,
brother.
Malachi.
All right, everybody.
Thank you,
Listen, wherever you're following at, we're on every platform on social media, period. Anywhere and everywhere. So we're there. Podcast-wise, we're everywhere as well. Right? So you see us at iTunes, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, the whole nine. Right? Speaker, Google Play. There isn't one we're not on. So go find us, search A2D, like, subscribe, download. If you're following us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, get your alerts on. And if you're over on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, give us a like, give us a follow. We're blowing up, baby, and we're blowing up because of you. We're blowing up because of you guys. That's why. The blow-ups here, often imitated. Never.
Often imitated.
Often. Probably happened 3 times during the show. Oh, these guys are live. Okay, everyone started. We got to get together.
You know what I like to say, and I know it's going to sound so cocky, right? It's going to sound so cocky. I don't care.
Please do it. Yeah.
I don't care. There's a lot of people out there that do what we do, and that's fine. And respect to everybody. I got a lot of friends in this game, and a lot of close friends that I've gained in this game that aren't even part of A2D. So that doesn't matter. I respect everybody trying to hustle, right? But the one thing you don't got, who the hell is talking like me? Who's going to do videos every goddamn day? Who's going to do 100 million shows? And who's got guys around them that are the same way, right? So I'm not making it about me. I'm just starting it with me, right? Because it's like you start at the top, right? You start at the top. Who runs the show? Well, Jeffrey Lurie. Hey, Jeffrey, right? Well, we run a great organization here, top to bottom. You know what I'm saying? Great organization with great guys who can flat out spit it. So everybody can try it and respect to everybody. Because, I want everybody to try to do this. This is fun. But you doing it for 6 years? You going to do it for another 6? We are. So, hey, Takeover Talk. We love you all. I don't know what else I was going to say. Besides, did that make sense? Was that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that good? Okay, I felt good.
I have no objections.
Yeah.
Felt good. Sounded good.
Pot's right.
No, Ryan. Mike's not with us right now. Mike's a longtime A2D guy. We love Mike, and it was just a tough time for him. So the door's always open for Mike. He's part of the A2D family. He's not one of the guys who left on bad terms like some of these other crumbs. But you know what I mean.
Oh, where'd he go?
Oh, mic drop. Whoa. Okay. Maybe power outage. Oh, he's
not there.
I was going to. Oh, is he back? Hey.
What happened?
What the?
That was weird.
I thought you put a mic drop. I'm like, oh, okay.
I guess I swipe with my finger on the mouse pad. I don't know. But at the end of the day, like I said, we love everybody out there. We mean no disrespect. People can do whatever they want. It's a free country. We hope everybody out there that's in the podcast world. I'll be on Philly the podcast tomorrow at 6 with my boy Joe. That's always a great time. So you can go check that out. We'll be yelling and screaming. And then we got HUD After Dark tomorrow night, Cromer. Cromer, are you doing lazy booking?
No, not this week.
Right.
I might hop on with Andy Saturday night.
They're just us and the ladies tomorrow night. Us and the ladies. No, Ted, sadly, he went back to 4th and Yawn. And everybody's entitled to their own decisions. 4th and Yawn can't hold my fucking jockstrap. I will go on there. They can have 72 guys on their panel, and I'll go on by myself, and I'll talk all 72 guys, right? And I could just say, you know what? You pick up games. You bring your best 5. I'll bring my best 5. Game over, right? Or you bring your best 10. I bring my best 10. I could bring my best 30. You understand that? That's the difference. We're bringing our best 30 to the table. Their best. They might have a best 5 if they're lucky. And the whole thing was built on a script. Don't do this to me at 1:30 in the morning. I love Jimmy, though. All right. I love everybody. I don't like 4th and John, but I do love everybody else. So the This is what we do. This is what happens. This is what starts to happen. Why do people do this? They're like late night triggers. Late night triggers. Salute, Heavy, Don, Rome. Says we all bring facts. Hey, listen, we're just here for a good time. I mean, people take things so sensitive. When I talked about T-shirt kitten, you know what I mean? Like everybody got up in arms. It's what are you in this for? It's a little comedy involved in it too, right? I mean, if we're all serious, like grow up. We're out. We love you all. For Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Ralph Del Vecchio, Mike Chromiak, who's on as much as I am, and I fucking love it. Rise right behind him, like a 1B on airtime. Ralph, we don't know. I mean, nobody's keeping track at home.
Depends on if the Lakers won. It depends on if the Lakers won. You know what I'm saying?
Greg's right there. Greg's. Oh, Matt, come on, dude. We got Hall of Famers over here. We got Hall of Famers over here. We don't want to start swinging sticks. I mean, dude, I wear out a 5.5 hole like it's my job. All right, I'm sure sweeps if needed, we can still swing it. Right? Greg played a lot of softball. I don't know if the looks are going to tell you he can swing it, but I believe he can swing it. I mean, you know. I'm not.
Rumor has it I may have batted 800 over a season. Just going to throw it out there.
You got a 2-time Little League champion up here. Here, I'll come out of retirement.
We do have a black guy on the show, Rome. Pete Evans, Birds of a Feather. On other shows, man. Come on.
He'll be on. Pete Top's on a lot too. He was actually going to hop on tonight, but he had something that got tied up. But he'll be on with us Thursday night.
He almost hopped on last night. We don't agree, disagree with us, Cromer, but he had the thesis paper to write because the guy's a grinder. Tom for GM, Adam Rush. Yep. I mean, let's go, baby. This isn't hard. Listen, everybody stay safe out there.